Well, all right, all right. It is Tyrant Slayer Studios. Oh, well, that's a bummer. Well, there goes my professionalism out the window, ladies and gentlemen. That is a technical difficulty at its finest and displayed as exactly what you should not be doing if you are trying to operate a YouTube channel here in a very versatile community, trying to do the right thing. I do apologize for the audio issue and my lack of professionalism, but call me a rookie or a greenhorn or whatever you may call me. Just listen as much as I like to talk. Let's get our camera. We can hear your voice only. Bah, ha, ha, ha. All right. Yeah, I kind of figured that was the problem. I've been having issues with the software. You guys will have to bear with me. I'm not well versed in broadcasting, but I do produce a hell of a video, as some of you may or may not know. The brass tacks here tonight consists of some election analysis. I was a little weary, even just putting the term in my title or in the description. But what the hell, right? YouTube and Facebook have been suppressing me. I think that's an accurate statement. For example, my wife has a completely separate account, has her own thing going on, and upon Facebook, under her account, she has, at the very same time I have been restricted to posting on groups or pages. She can post on a comment. She can make a comment on anyone's page or even on a group. A comment, restricted to the people associated with whatever that post may be, but she cannot directly reach tens of thousands of people in any sort of group on Facebook or page, including that of our own Tyrant Slayer Studios. If you're wondering, we can be found on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Tyrant Slayer Studios. You can look us up on Facebook by putting the @ sign, Worthy Son of Liberty, right up there in the search field. That'll take you to our Facebook page, where we are active daily on mostly Connecticut politics, but we do focus on nationwide things. If you search Tyrant Slayer Studios in the search field, you will find our group page, which is associated with the main page. I only created that simply because I was confused as to what Facebook was asking of me. Just to be able to advertise on the site and go along with the Facebook standards, kind of fishing around in the dark. I just agreed to everything and anything under the sun and did whatever I could to try to get as much information out there to the people as possible through this service. So I have a page and a group dedicated to Tyrant Slayer Studios. And my wife and I, at this time, while I am legitimately, we'll say, imprisoned by the fascist dictators at Facebook for colorful language and words that I have used to affect people's feelings. I am imprisoned right now and do not have a voice upon that social media network. However, my wife, who has done nothing wrong and has committed no offense and has been contacted at no time by Facebook support or any admin of Facebook thereof for doing anything nefarious or offensive or in violation of community standards, has also, at the same time as me, been restricted from even posting on our own goddamn page or group. She can't post on her own wall, or she can, but she can't share anything to anyone, and it's really weird. I've never seen this sort of behavior from Facebook. I'm very well versed in being in Facebook imprisonment for a number of reasons, none of which are really justified, but are all feelings based, which kind of irks me. But I digress. Anyway, strange times we're living in. I was a little weary about the title and what I'm about to do here this evening, but I do thank each and every one of you for being here. Let's see, we got DPN. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, that's the our shining knight in armor, our your fellow companion out there in Chicago, representing Chicago. We got Mr. Joe Cool up there in the thumbnail. Hoosier, thanks for being here. NC Tyrant, what's up? Bam, all right, back at you, my brother. The left-leaning libertarian. All right. We love a libertarian no matter which way he leans here on this channel. Miss London, you're always here, man. I appreciate your support. Upstate Audits, what's up, my brother? NC Street News, right on. Barry St. Clair, fancy name there, my brother. I hope you got a nice soup for it. Mr. White, Chris White, Mark James Levesque, another common name. I'm humbled by your presence in my live streams. I thank you very much for joining us. I will not let you down this evening. I have a few things I'd like to present to you. With my broadcast software being an anomaly to me, it's going to be a little different than what I wanted to give to you, but I will do my best to present to you basically my general analysis and opinions based upon factual data regarding what in the ever-loving is going on in our country right now, as far as elections, as far as police, as far as where we stand as the people of the United States of America and the citizens who make this place go round. We pay the taxes. This is our country, ladies and gentlemen. This is our country, and this is what's happening in our country. And I'm here to talk to you folks, to share my perspective on it and my analysis, and show you why I'm thinking what I'm thinking and drawing the conclusions that I'm drawing and sharing. I want to be on the same page so that we can legitimately have what I believe is in dire need, and it's as simple as a discussion. I'd like you folks to join me this evening for a discussion. So, shall we begin? Let's see where we're going to begin. Let me get up a page here for you. Let's see. I guess we'll start at home, right? Because it all starts at home, whether it's charity or a problem. You can pretty much bet that your problems start at home. So, let's talk about the biggest tax increase in Connecticut history, which is coming very soon. I'll go ahead and blow this up for you folks. Let's see. Where am I at here? Where'd it go? Jesus H. Christ. What is happening here? Totally professional here at Tyrant Slayer Studios. All right. Bear with me as I get through the kinks. As I go on, as you've seen from my very first video in May to the last video I posted this month, I've kind of progressed. And my broadcasting is going to follow along that same sort of rail of progression here. But let's have at it. The biggest tax increase in Connecticut history is coming soon. The Appropriations Committee voted favorably on a new two-year budget this first year of the budget would be about $395 million, or about 1.9% than the current level of spending. The second year would be a 3.6% spending increase, about $768 million. Yesterday, FRB committee put forth a revenue package that raises $936 million in new taxes in the first year and $1.28 billion with a B in the second year. Yes, that's billion with a B. Here is a complete list of new taxes, including those put forth by the governor's office and those recently approved by the action of Democrats in the Finance, Revenue, and Bonding Committee. So let's have a look here, folks. A new 2% tax on capital gains. That's something we can all talk about, for sure. Property tax credit, remove scheduled expansion. Tax for rideshare, increase on sales tax on meals, 10% tax increase on alcohol. In the state of Connecticut, in the socialist racketeering nanny police state of Connecticut, the alcohol tax, the cigarette tax, and the tax on anything else they deem bad for your health is called a sin tax. A sin tax. So because you are sinning and you are an evil human being, you deserve to be taxed. Yes, you will be penalized in the oh-so-passionate and caring and inclusive state of Connecticut. Increase tax on movies, 6% to 3.5%. Eliminate the 5-year, $500 credit for STEM college graduates. Tax interior design services. Tax on dry cleaning and laundry services. Coin-operated. Tax on parking. Tax on digital downloads from 1% to standard 6.35% sales tax rate. Tax safety apparel. Maintain current 10% business surcharge set to expire in tax year 2019. Tax e-cigarettes liquid at 75% wholesale. Increase minimum markup on cigarettes. Increase sales. Yes, honey. Joe Cool wants to get in on the stream. All right, my guy. All right. I got the wife paying attention to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. She is my assistant, the assistant here this evening, but the brains behind this entire operation, I assure you of that. Don't let the woman's pants or skirt fool you. She's got the power of a big swinging dick and balls. So thank you very much for the insight, honey. Where are we at there? What are we doing? All right. I'm going to put a link up in the live stream for a Mr. Joe Cool. Anyone else who is associated with ANN or Cool by Me and already has a pre-existing relationship is more than welcome to join this panel this evening. I will say I just got to have about 10 minutes to get through what I want to present to everyone and throw out there for our topic of discussion this evening. And then it's all on you. You guys can have the floor, and I'd be glad to have a conversation with each and every one of you. So if you bear with me, I'll get a link up for you. We'll make it through this list. I'll get the link up, and we'll go from there, my friends. Let's see, where were we? All right, there we go. Increased sales due to e-cig excise. Maintain hospital user fee at FY 2019 level of $900 million. To be honest, I have no idea what the fuck that line means, but we will find out here at Tyrant Slayer Studios. Implement recommendation of ambulatory surgical center tax study. Well, that sounds like a big fucking waste of money to me. Surcharge on plastic bags of 10 cents. Yeah, isn't that nice? You know, because man has something to do with climate change, formerly known as global warming, which was a big fucking lie. All I have to say about that is man, bear, pig. All right. Implement recommendation of I already read that one. Again, impeccable professionalism here at Tyrant Slayers. We do it like nobody else. We might actually accidentally repeat ourselves on occasion, fart, burp, and make weird noises on air. Eliminate increased exemption for Social Security income. Eliminate exemption for pension and annuity income. Eliminate the sales tax free week. Wow. They want to get rid of our sales tax free week. Jesus H. Christ. Who the hell is running on this? Now, All right, I'll digress. All right, let's just get through these lines. Tax legal services, tax on accounting services, tax on architectural services, tax on engineering services, tax on real estate activities and agent brokers, tax on veterinary services, tax on barber shops and beauty salons. You hear that, city folks? Jesus Christ. Tax on massage therapists and electrology services, tax on sports, recreation, instruction, and industries, tax on horseboarding and training, tax on arrangement and scenic transportation. Jesus fuck. What does that even mean? What the fuck does that mean? Tax on services to buildings and dwellings. We already have that. That's called a property tax. Now they just changed the language to taxes on taxed shit already. Jesus Christ. Taxed on waste collection. Tax on renovation and repair of residential property. Oh, so it's going to be more expensive for you to maintain your property now. Isn't that wonderful? Tax on winter boat storage. Yeah, because you got to dock your boat during the winter. You got. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? Yeah, all those boat owners are going to be so happy here in the state of Connecticut down there in Niantic on the coast. Oh, yeah, that lovely, lovely beachfront property with those fucking taxes. Ain't that nice? Yeah, real nice, real swell. Tax on campground rentals, tax on Connecticut credit unions. Oh, you mean there's people in Connecticut that don't approve of banking and aren't happy with the banking institutions like Bank of America and all these other crooked financiers? Oh, okay. Let me just calm it down a little bit and try to make it through these lines. A new 25-cent tax deposit on wine and liquor glass bottles. Well, isn't that nice? A new add 5-cent bottle deposit to Nips. Are you serious? Yeah, man. Mad motherfuckers drinking Nips and shit out here. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to cash in my Nips. Hey. A new tax on payroll to fund state-run family medical leave. Wonderful. Wonderful news here in the state of Connecticut. That's just great. That's great. All right. So, let's get into my saved stuff here. I've been putting quite a collection here together. I do apologize for coughing, but hey, this is going to happen here. This is what you get. It's real. I've been putting a collection here together for things that are pertinent to the discussion I want to have with my fellow Americans. There's a number of news entities, local ones, as a matter of fact, in my area, WTNH and Fox 61 News being just two of them. I would believe Channel 3 is a culprit as well, but I haven't been watching their productions, so I can't really say, and I won't pretend to know. However, if you just watch TV, if you were an alien and you landed on planet Earth yesterday and you were trying to figure out who won the election, you would think it was Joe Biden. But, au contraire, mon frere, that is not the reality. Good thing you're not aliens, and good thing I'm Tyrant Slayer Studios, because here we're going to be able to get a grip on what in the ever-loving is happening here. So, Jesus, I don't know why I whistled for that swear, but I swore all these other times and I didn't bleep that out. That's kind of strange. All right, anyway, back to the platform here. This collection here, I should have some amazing videos. In fact, actually, I do have an amazing video. Everybody's always asking for proof. Everybody's always saying, there's no proof. There's it makes me want to throw up. I got something for all you people here. Jesus, where is it? Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Shit. There's a video. Maybe it was sent to the Tyrant Slayer Studio page, honey. Can you find that? You check our Tyrant Slayer Studio message board. There is an incredible video of one of the folks that was working in the polling station at that location who is absolutely signed, who has already signed an affidavit and is providing more proof than required to prove the nefarious activities and the fraud. Let's see. 21,000 dead people on Pennsylvania vote. Let's just take a look at this, all right? Let's be fair, all right? Fuck that it says Breitbart, or that it says Breitbart, right? All right, a little late on the beep, honey. We got to get a delay set up here. All right, lawsuit. At least 21K dead people on Pennsylvania voter rolls. All right. 21,000 people doesn't sound like a lot, but if there's 21,000 dead people voting, then Jesus Christ, what else is wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just that, you know. A lawsuit filed by the Public Interest Legal Foundation, PLIF, alleges that there are at least 21,000 dead people on Pennsylvania's voter rolls. The lawsuit claims that Pennsylvania failed to, quote unquote, reasonably maintain their voter registration under federal and state law in time for the 2020 presidential election. Quote, as of October 7th, 2020, at least 9,212 registrants have been dead for at least 5 years. At least 1,990 registrants have been dead for at least 10 years, and at least 197 registrants have been dead for at least 20 years, quote unquote, the lawsuit states. All right. I'm just going to leave this up here on the screen for you folks to read at your leisure. I'm not going to continue to read every single goddamn report I've already read, but the ones I like, I will. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Let me get back on point here. You know, do I really need to go through all these reports, honey? Do I really need to show them proof? Do I need to show them the stuff I've seen, or should they find it themselves? Like, what should I do here? Bring Joe Cool on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring Joe Cool on, because Joe Cool is cool as shit. And, he's going to bring his cup for your tears. Yes, he's going to bring a cup for my tears. And we're going to let him do that here, because I'm cool too. So let's get this thing situated here. All right, there I am. And we'll go ahead and remove that. And we'll go ahead and put this up in the live stream for Joseph. Oh, and the Church for Four. Hey, man, Shiva, you can get up in this too, my brother. All right. All right, we got some people up in here. Shiva, you're more than welcome to join. Joe Cool, there's a link for y'all. NC Tyrant Hunter, you're more than welcome. Mr. Felix, if you're around and you want to join, have at it, my friend. We'd love to hear from you. The more the merrier. This is all about the people, of the people, for the people, by the people. I'm not the only one who has the floor here. We've all participated in this election, and we all have a voice on this channel, that's for sure. We might not all have a voice on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or the things that the Big Five control all the time, but we certainly have a voice here on Tyrant Slayer Studios. Mr. Tyrant Hunter, Mr. Joe Cool, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
What's up? Thanks for having us.
I got a bad throat, so I got to speak low.
Right on. We'll take you sick if that's how we have to take you, man.
There's Pretty Boy.
Anyway, we could get Joe Cool. It's cool, my man.
Big sexy.
Yeah, you know what? The ladies might actually like the rasp. You know,
that's
you got
why
that
you're laughing.
Phil Collins raspy thing going on right now. You know, you gotta start thinking about picking up that '80s gold era music right now and just singing to the ladies, my man. Yeah, right? John likes that. Big sexy, yeah.
Billy D. Williams up in here, bro. Don't try me. Where my boy start laughing.
Put on the red light, Joe. Put on the red light.
Oh, here we go.
I'm glad to have each and every one of you. I did have a great big thing planned tonight, but I guess I'm just an idiot and I can't manipulate the software properly, so I'm gonna have to school myself.
Somebody I know, Jeff.
Is this your first time? Is this your did we break your cherry tonight, Tyrant Slayer?
Well, no, it's not that, but it's I am a little embarrassed, to be honest. You know,
Why? What happened?
It happens to the best of us, man. Don't sweat it.
I was like, maybe I better delay this an hour, see if I can't figure this out.
Why? What's wrong?
Figure it out.
You do enough delays, bro.
Are you guys familiar with XSplit? It's a broadcast software.
I've seen it somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty nifty, and I did have a handle on it like a month ago, and it's like I forgot how I forgot some things, And
Been there.
there's some new things that I need
Are
to
we
do, and I just can't manipulate the software.
are we on the live stream or what?
Yeah, we are live right now. I'm a
Yeah.
humble guy. I'm not afraid to admit my flaws.
So we
I guess-
can't see what the people are saying?
No, you can.
Oh, you can, but I'm doing it through StreamYard. Like right now, I have to go through like share screen and things like that, and I'm very limited to what I can do and how I can do it. With XSplit, I can really kind of create. I already did create like a path for me to travel upon throughout the broadcast, where I can just flip through scenes, bring up stuff that I already have queued, and have it all set up to go nice and nice.
Hey, John, you
Cool
should,
story,
you
man.
should, John, you should have a button on your phone that takes you to the comments, if that's what
Oh,
you want
chat?
to see. Yeah.
Private chat,
No,
comment.
not that. No, not. Yeah, that's private chat. Yeah, but there's
but now I can't see myself.
yeah. Well, you can't do both on the phone.
Oh damn! Well then, this is dysfunctional.
Now,
I'm just
Mr.
saying.
Felix, as many of you may or may not know, Mr. Felix is a phenomenal pool player.
Yeah, no, I've seen some videos of that. Yeah,
Wait,
no
I'm
doubt.
alright.
son,
I'm
I
alright.
heard,
I'm all
and
right.
my wife keep talking about she want to challenge you to some pool, man.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. I've run out of people to play. I've run out of
And you
people to
must
play
be
here in the
good,
state of
'cause she's
Connecticut.
good.
Yeah,
Say good.
there's when I walk into a bar, people walk away from the pool table. It doesn't matter which county or which town I'm in this state.
Says
Nobody
who?
wants
Who's
to-
talking right now?
This is Mr. Tyrant
That's
Slayer, and you and I are gonna have to get together on
Ah,
a 7,
yeah,
8,
yeah.
9 footer, however you want to play.
Where do
We're
you
gonna
Where
play
do you
one
live?
day.
Are you in Florida? No, right?
No, I'm up in Connecticut. I'm a good
All right,
1,000
John
miles
trying
away.
to set it up right now.
I mean, if you need the last three, let me know.
Oh, wow.
See, that's funny you say
Damn.
that. When I
sounds-
started running out of opponents to play,
What's
I
your
would let
Fargo
them
rating?
break. Well, I played some guys that were interested in roping me into the league, and they told me I'd be a 7. So, and I think that's pretty good.
An
as far
APA?
as, yeah, an APA. And the
What's
Rebel
your
League, too,
rating,
if there's
John,
another
so
league
I can
floating
tell
around
my
out here.
girl and see if she can beat you or not?
I've never played
I don't even know
APA, but my Fargo rating is like 625 or something like that.
Yeah, you're really
And
good.
it's
I see
called
you
a
play. And the guys
Fargo-
you're playing against,
Fargo.
they only make you better.
The best player in the world's Fargo rating is like 820, and then anything above 700, you're basically a pro.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
not.
My girl been
I'm
talking
not,
plenty
man. I'm not
smack
that good.
too.
There's a
6-0.
dime a dozen of me in the pool hall. I wish.
Well, you're right. We're
Really?
really
have to-
stuck in that gray area. All the real pros are just a cut above us,
Wow. My girl probably in there with y'all there.
Hey man,
I love pool.
You know,
anytime any of you guys are in Florida, you want to eat some dinner, smoke some stuff, whatever you want to do, man. I be cooking.
I'm
You're
gonna bring
chilling.
you a silver $50, and I want you to make me a ring.
You got it.
I'll bring you a Wagyu for your work. Like I'm gonna bring you like the best steak I could find on the planet. And,
Whatever you want,
and we'll
bro.
Bring some whiskey.
I know how to wagyu.
John, I've been waiting for an email, so you can send me your address, because I don't mind coming to Florida for a good meal. I'm just saying,
Hey, Jeff, we can do it together,
I'll give
baby.
you my
'cause
address.
right?
I'll
I've been
tell you
planning
what.
it too.
I was down in Daytona back in 2002 trying to restart my life when I was a young man after getting out of some troubles and things. And
Mhm.
I went down there to do landscaping, and it just wasn't enough money for me. So I was like trying to do other things, paint and do construction and things I learned up here in New England on the old colonials. And I'm trying to introduce all this antique stuff and refinish it. And the market was just so different down there. I ended up finding myself climbing palm trees with a fucking chainsaw and just, essentially grooming the palm trees and giving them that little crown up on the top, like they have out in front of the fancy hotels.
Yeah.
And all the residential homeowners are like, "Oh my God, have you done this before?" I was like, "No, never. First time in my life." Like I got attacked by ants and shit while I was doing it. Like, it was a horrible But
Dude,
I was
there's
like,
a-
wow, if anything
there's
goes
a-
south, I can always go to Florida and just trim palm trees for a living, because apparently I cut palm trees like barbers cut hair.
and age talent you have or something.
Yeah, they loved it. It was kind of fun, too. I monkey right up on there. And what's the matter, honey?
Check your sound.
Oh,
Check my
there's
sound.
a-
What's my audio like? I got good audio?
Sound good?
5x5, baby.
All right.
All right.
There's a caterpillar that lives in the palm trees that if it bites you, you got to get to the hospital in like 20 minutes.
That just
I never heard
soured
of
it.
that. Never heard of that. I'm not
It's
afraid of
called
anything except spiders, man.
Something puss caterpillar.
I could deal with anything. I could do a Irish jig on a 6-inch wide plank, 60 feet off the ground on a gable end, and be fine with no harness and no rope, no tie off, nothing. But if you throw a fucking spider in front of me and I'm on a 20-foot extension ladder, I might jump off, man.
Yeah,
Can you do that?
Spiders.
Can you do that first thing while you audit the police?
Well, as long as there's no spiders, I'm gonna be doing a great audit. Yeah. Police
Word.
don't scare me. No, nobody scares me. Nothing scares me except spiders. It's kind of fucked up.
Listen,
Anyway,
man,
let's
my
get
wife's
off
gonna
of
get paid if they do something to me. That's all I know.
I just sent you a text, John.
Thank you, sir.
And by the way, any of you guys, I do panel. I'm not trying to take Tire Slayer Studios thunder or anything, but I do panels about every other day. All of you guys are welcome. All of you guys are welcome. I think I knocked him off with my text.
Hey, NC, I'm always with you, my brother. Sometimes I got my kids around, but I'm always listening, man. I give you guys all the support I can. I'm with
All
you
right,
100%.
man. I appreciate that.
I might not always join the panel, but I'm listening, my guy.
Yeah. That's great, man. That's great. And I know, some guys, especially John, I think he's the big dog of us. I do believe one of them. In
He's gotta have more subs than any three of us.
right. And that's that's cool.
That's luck, dude. I got
Well,
lucky.
he sings and
My
shit,
video
man. This
went
man
viral.
sings to his audience.
Yeah.
He treats the people
yeah.
right, you know.
The reason I
Special
sing is
things.
because hating ass YouTube won't let me use music.
Right. And what I was trying to,
That's right.
Use music, right?
but
I gotta improvise.
I didn't know that was your logic behind that. That's interesting.
yeah.
Every time I try to play an intro song, they demonetize me. I said, "Okay, bro."
All right.
Okay.
Well, here's what you're doing wrong.
Okay.
You gotta. I pay for the music I have in any one of my videos. I paid for the license of it. I use a service called Jesus Christ, Evanto Elements.
And you can
Evanto
get
Elements.
current music, up to date music, and what's
You can get licensed music. I can get licensed Hollywood
Like
music.
hit songs?
I won the dispute on my New York video for the Frank Sinatra New York video because I actually altered that song with some flanger and did some DJ, fixes to it to make it not quite theirs anymore.
Yeah.
I did the bare minimum to change it. And when they demonetized that video, it would have been a huge hit for me because I think it got like 700,000 hits. I was like, take a look at New York, folks. Just look at it. And I threw the Frank Sinatra song into it. I got the video with the guy's permission off of Twitter. And it went really well, but they hit me with a copyright thing. I ended up winning that appeal, but there was nothing in escrow because I didn't appeal it from the get-go. I went after it after the fact, after I started reading up on the copyright laws and the Fair Use Act and things like that. And I was like, so I didn't really do anything wrong.
I ain't trying to fight that hard, man.
Well, that's why a lot of people are moving platforms. They go into different platforms now. Hell, I got so many platforms now I can't control all of them.
It would help you out, John, if you could use the music that you think of. Like you see something happen and it makes you think of a scene from a movie or a specific song. You should be able to use that when expressing your observations. And I don't think you should be copyrighted for that. And if you could find a service that provides you the license to use those artistic creations in your expression, you should seek those avenues and pay that small fee or whatever it is.
What's a small fee? What's a small
fee? If they
fee?
let me use like top 40 music.
Right.
Well, that would be different. Yeah, you don't want to go like radio-friendly top 40 charts right now. You don't want to go anything on like Billboard Top 100, but you can use stuff that's owned by not necessarily Warner Brothers, but sub-studios of those entities.
A more generic version of stuff.
Yeah, but I think you would. And whatever you're doing is working too. I mean, you got a great thing going on here, and you're singing. You don't need the music, so
yeah, because my singing is spot on. That's what it is. Has anyone else's channel died in the past week? basically?
It's been going on since October 16th on my end, and I don't know how often you guys look at your analytical data, but I look at mine
Every day.
obsessively
Yep.
every single day.
Yep, mine's been crashing too.
There's a big thing going on with my female to male ratio, my subscriber versus not subscribed viewers.
Yep.
All of a sudden, subscribers are way more of my viewers than non-subscribers. It's always been like 99% unsubscribed.
Wow, that
watching
is
my shit.
interesting.
That's the
And
way
now
mine
all of a
is.
sudden it's like 80-20. It even got as high as like 75-25. I was like, what the fuck? Why are only my subscribers watching my shit?
I think
Why
you
is
got
it-
somebody in the basement, Tyrant Slayer.
Well, somebody raised an interesting point in a group chat that we had and said something to the effect of there's old dated channels perhaps no longer, they haven't been logged into an extent in a certain extent of time or whatever the factor may be. There's channels being purged from the YouTube registry for one reason or another, and that could be what we're losing in our subscription base. And that's something that I would like to believe, but I don't necessarily believe is the factor on my channel. I think it could be different for
Let me
Let
everybody.
me ask something. Is there any way to contact your subscribers?
Yeah, you can actually get a list of every single person who's subscribed and the date that they subscribed to your channel, but you have to download it. You only get like the top 50 if you're looking in your analytics, but if you hit that button up in your browser and download the file of every single person over the lifetime of your channel, you can get all of their usernames, and with a bit of luck, they have you can literally comment to them right upon their own channel, like in their discussion or community page, or they have their email in their about section and things like that, and you can contact them. You can find the means of
Pardon me,
contact.
Tyrant Slayer. I think you got a couple people in the basement waiting to get up.
Is he
There you go.
back?
You need to make room
Bucket
for
Boy
other people.
and Mr. Shiva.
Back there waiting
Hello.
patiently. What's going on, Chief?
Hello.
I haven't looked at my analytics, so if I looked at them now, I wouldn't really know what the fuck I'm comparing them to.
You know what's crazy?
Well,
that
you
Past
can
90
go
days.
through. You can go through your months, Joe. Cool. You can bring
I
up
can
your
go through
very
the back.
first
I'm not
month.
that fucking curious. I'm not.
No, you can. There's a little button for even if you're on your
Fuck it.
phone.
That's because Joe
You
Cool
should
ain't
look at it,
raising no
'cause it-
subs like we are.
That's my cigarette money.
Well, if
You
you
know what's
look at this
crazy about
data,
my analytics?
if you look at this data, it can be very helpful to you. It not only can tell you when your largest segment of audience is on during the day, but
Wow.
it'll also tell you, male, female, age group, all
But
of
that
that
can't
stuff.
be accurate. The reason
Transgender.
why I say this is because my analytics are all males, and since I have no females on my page,
Neutral.
Yeah, see, mine grew up to the females on my channel were at like 27% when my channel was
yes,
making its
all my
most
subscribers
Well,
are males.
Bucket Boy News, statistically speaking, that may very well be true.
What?
Right? Like you
What?
might have some women going to your channel, but the numbers might be so low as to make them statistically irrelevant.
Is that the
And
British
it's worth-
Predator?
I'm not sorry.
Nothing,
What?
sir. Who's
All right,
talking right now with that
let me-
beautiful accent?
That's
sorry,
Shiva.
Sorry, are you talking? Are you calling me a predator?
No. You have like the Predator, the movie, the look, and then you have
Oh, the British
Oh, I see.
Predator.
Yes, the look through the alien's eyes. Yes, hell yeah. And he made that himself. Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
this is Shiva. He made that filter himself. He's a
pretty
very
cool.
eccentric and very intelligent man. I like
No,
him
sorry,
very much.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
she was
not-
my
Bucket Boy,
ex,
thank
John.
you very
I
much for
used
joining
to,
us.
I used to date
for
Steve
those
in
of you
high
don't,
school.
For those of you that don't know, Bucket Boy is out of Rhode Island, and he's holding it down there best he can. He's been into some things, and he's found my support and love, and that's what brings him here today. Shiva is, like I said, very eccentric, very intelligent. He did a great review of, I think, what was confused to be an audit and more of an objective record, but did a great review nonetheless.
I just
Steve,
want to
I
say
gotta
I'm
ask
not.
what's it like-
I'm not rich enough to be eccentric, so I think.
Ah,
I'm just
Shiva,
probably
you
crazy.
jumped my
And
question.
a humble man, Shiva.
I was gonna ask you. You
thank you for
gotta
being
tell
here.
me what's it's like to be characterized as eccentric. I think
Are
you
you in
asked
the
like,
States?
No. I'm in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to describe myself as an English idiot.
American idiot right here.
Yeah, we're all
They
idiots.
wrote
to
a
some
song
degree.
about me.
I'm proud to be
Yeah, I
an
don't wanna
American
be
We're
idiot.
all mutts.
Big Sexy, you know that song, huh?
Nah, I know a lot of songs, bro.
No, I'm proud to be an American idiot.
That's right. From Green Day, absolutely.
All right, so to get back to what brings me here this evening, I would like to just kind of run through the squares here. We got DPN. DPN, ladies and gentlemen, disorderly product news. The
Yes,
right
ma'am.
hand of Chicago,
Yes.
coupled with the left over there with Joe Cool. You got, Activism News Network, ANN, representing Chicago with disorderly product news. He's got a fantastic channel. If you haven't heard of him yet, well, that's unfortunate. You have now, and
That's not possible.
you better get on over to his channel and subscribe because his
What's
content
going
is
on, DPN? How you doing today,
as valuable
brother?
as gold.
Damn,
What's
Joe.
going on,
we,
Bucket Boy?
Joe, we
What's
didn't
going
get
on?
no intro like that, did we? What's up with that?
I don't think we did. I
No.
got a thumbnail though, so I can't complain.
I'm
Hey,
just
so-
messing with you.
So I heard you guys were talking about being locked up in YouTube jail and them suppressing you. They did that to me at one time. So I did a lot of background checking, and I found out there's a such thing called a P score. And what a P score is 5 integral components that make up your P score. And one is popularity. That's your watch time, right? 2 is passion, engagement, the likes and the comments you get on your video. 3 is protection. Is it suitable for adverts? Is it suitable for advertisement? 4 is the platform. Is it ability to be shown on high definition TVs or used for things like YouTube Red?
Right.
And 5 is the production. Is there a production value in your in your
Were
material?
controversial topics any part of this list?
No. They sidestepped that. Yeah, well, no, yeah, protection. So it's suitable for adverts, right? So protection is it friendly to? Can you sell Quaker Oats cereal with it? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
yeah.
they
On
wanna
a
be as-
commercial kind of basis.
Yeah, exactly. Are you commercially
Auditors
viable?
eat cereal.
Yeah, no, they do. I'm not. Hey,
Okay.
don't shoot the messenger.
I love
No,
you.
I'm
I
glad
love
you
DPN.
told me that.
Hey,
this
man,
sort of-
thanks for joining us and thanks for bringing that to us. What more can
Yeah,
you say on that?
no problem. I just know how much it sucks when you're pumping out good content and your channel like the back of your hand, and the video should be
Yeah.
at 20,000 and it's at
They've
5,000.
been capping me. They capped my reach at 9,500, between 9,500 and 10,000 since October 16th until
Yeah.
date. I don't reach more than 10,000 people a day, and it took a complete 90-degree turn, flatline, been that way ever
Yeah.
since.
Yeah,
No,
that's the way mine is.
Tyrant, so look up your suggest in your analytics your how much is your video getting suggested. So the regular people that watch it,
it's like 50% of the time.
yeah. So what I found in mine was the regular people were watching my video, but after that it fell off the table. Like my regular viewers, because YouTube was not suggesting my video to anybody.
Mine's
You know
the
what I'm
opposite. Mine's the
only-
opposite.
I get that in the most latest videos. I have the most important video, like the interview I had with Nurse Erin Marie Oshevsky, the undercover epicenter nurse from Elmhurst Hospital, Queens, New York. Man, like that's some real shit, and that's got like a 0.6% suggestion rate, whereas the video in my driveway is like 51% suggestion.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
So what?
dude. All of
how
my
much-
videos that do the best have a high suggestion rate, and all the ones that do the worst have no females and like minimal or even non-existent onto video suggestions from YouTube.
Well, yeah, of course you can't unless they're putting your videos out there. You could never succeed. You know what I'm saying? If you were on the
Right.
front,
Look.
if you're on the front page of YouTube trending every day, your videos. So what was it? What was
Yeah,
it
but it's like
compared?
they're cherry picking. It's like they're cherry picking. Anytime I did anything
You're a
that
bootlicker,
mentioned the
yeah.
C word, anytime I mentioned anything, well, here's what it is. Anytime I did anything that was damning of cops or could be controversial and perceived as negative towards police, it was promoted. Anytime I did anything that was real with tangible data, including a fucking nurse wearing spy glasses in a hospital, providing tangible physical adjective record and evidence, it was totally squandered by YouTube. They suppressed the shit out of that story. They suppressed the shit out of it. I have that broken down into 3 parts. Only the first part got over 1 million. All the other ones stalled at about 20,000 views. Even my live interview with the nurse from Florida, who's still active in breaking news every single day and has been all over the place, even with Oliver Stone as of like a week ago. She's all over the country trying to get Donald Trump's attention. He's not paying any attention to her. She's got real shit going on. People were really murdered in New York, in Elmhurst Hospital, Queens, New York. Fraud for federal dollars, real deal shit. No one's saying anything. No one cares. She's got a book out. She's got all this stuff going on. I interviewed her on my channel. She'll come back anytime I want. She gave me 9 autographed copies of her books. I'm going to be handing out copies of her books. And, you know, she made one out to my wife and I personally, went to the studio, and like 6 or 7 for my fans. And I'm going to be handing all that stuff out. But it's all been suppressed by YouTube. And I feel like it's hurt my channel. Every time I've done that, my channel went dark. I lost like 4 days of analytical data out of nowhere. Remember, each and every time, honey, it was like, oh, all of a sudden all that data is unavailable, and then like my channel plummets, and all the everything
Whenever
just
I
takes
do
a 90-degree
something
turn.
whenever I do something outside of my normal shit, it doesn't do well. The protest shit, or I don't know, whatever it is. Whenever I'm doing my normal cop watch shit, it does well.
But the video itself, the data's going straight up in the air like a rocket. It's like reaching and engagement off the charts, and then all of a sudden, just a 90-degree turn out of nowhere. It's like somebody reported it. I've had to get two videos put back on my channel. People were inappropriately reporting the videos as being something too much for the community, and I had to fight and get those appealed to get them back up without them being banned, and it was bullshit.
I showed a lot of people, my subscribers. I shared the screen and showed where mine went straight up and took an abrupt right turn. I mean, it went like way to the right. So, and mine's, I got the last video I put up, I got in the first hour, it was almost 2,000 views. In the second hour, it done pretty good the third hour, but then it started going so far down, dude, and it was going straight up, and then it started going to the right. And I have no freaking idea why.
You just did today, because that shit was dope.
Yeah, no, it was a great video, and it even said on YouTube, said that it's popular, and they suggesting it more than ever, right?
Right.
But now it's stopped, and I think what Tire Slayer Studios was talking about, it's capping, right? I don't think they not wanting me to get over 10,000 views, because every time I get close, it automatically takes a abrupt right turn. I mean, and Joe, you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about.
I did. I wanted to see what mine looked like after I saw your graph.
It's weird, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Wolfie Gladly. Now, this young man right here is not afraid to take on tyranny by the horns, man.
What's going on,
He's
Wolf?
with us here at ANN, and that's why he's here on Tyrant Slayer Studios, because Wolfie Gladly don't play around, man.
Yeah, Jeff.
Now I'm missing my intro. Thanks.
I'm missing my
word.
Yeah, we didn't get intros like that, man. Maybe we should have waited. No, we should have waited. Yeah, we should have waited until last to come up here,
so
right?
Into character in the beginning. You know, you
How
guys
about
came
the
a little
young
too
man,
early.
NC Tyrant Hunter? NC Tyrant Hunter is a young man too. We're probably about the same age.
He called me a young man? Wow.
Let's see it once more, Tyrant Hunter. Let's see it.
Yeah, I'm 50, by the way. I turned 50 in September.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm 13 years behind you.
Yeah, so young. Nobody's ever said I was a young man. Thank you for that.
My age. You're younger than me.
You're
man,
luckier
right
than
right.
You're luckier than me. You know, you get to see less of this bullshit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, I want to get to what everyone, their general kind of synopsis in 3 minutes or less, or 4 minutes or less, or take 5 minutes if you have to, really, but don't get too carried away. Just basically, where are you at on what you think the general state of this country is in right now? What you think about the election, and what you would like to see in the future.
Can I go first?
Wait, yes, hold on. I was going to ask you, when you first asked the first part, what's the general so-and-so of the country? I was going to interject and say, can we throw in something about the election? And the next words out your mouth were, and the election.
Well, good minds think alike. So let's give it to Joe Cool. Joe, Why don't you share with the
Okay.
people and I what you think the ever-loving F is going on here?
I don't know what the fuck is going on. I need to try to
Oh,
keep
I
my
can.
voice low too. I do know that last night was crazy off the chain. I know that the Republicans tried to throw out 80,000 black votes last night. Trump told someone, he
Well, hang
told
on now.
some,
Let's not go too fast. So, where did this report come from? And can you share with us something
yeah,
that, yeah, I would like to see that because I didn't hear anything about that. And that's big
it
news.
is on every fucking news station. The
I don't
fucking
watch
New York.
TV. I don't watch TV. I read the
Oh,
news.
it would be in the Post at the Times would have broke the story. It's on the start of every fucking news channel. It was huge. The
Where
two
was this? What
Republicans.
city or state?
It was Michigan. Fort.
Michigan.
Yeah, is it Fort? It ain't Fort. It's Wayne County.
All right.
It's two Republicans and two Democrats who say the ballots are
I got the wife on it now.
everything was
She's going to
cool.
look it up.
All right.
We'll get a
And
link for
the
you folks
two
momentarily.
and the two Republicans would not validate the election. And Trump went on
I
the
don't
Twitter
know
saying
nothing
how
on
proud
that.
he was, and they put up a letter saying we are so proud to
All right. Now, could this be
wait,
because
stop it, baby. You said 5 minutes. I can't get 60 seconds interrupted. Let me tell the story first.
Can I
Yeah,
finish? Can I finish? Can I finish?
yeah, let me tell the story. And the two Republicans, they would not validate the election. They put a letter up for Trump. We are proud to stand behind Trump. Whoop up the ram. The citizens, the election people, Republicans. I was only saw one black motherfucker. The rest were white Republicans that were there on scene, and they lost their fucking mind. They was like, you will go down in history as the most racist two people ever. Bull Connor and the other cat, the governor, so and so, and they was just back to back. They retracted, validated the fucking election, and this morning that and that Lindsey Graham shit is the only two things they're talking about. And you know what Lindsey Graham did, yeah? That nigga called the Secretary of State of Georgia and asked if he can get rid of legal ballots. That shit all over the news. The only election fraud and tampering I see is going on is right now. You think Trump want to investigate that shit? Fuck no. Because it's not to his benefit. You notice every fucking lawsuit he threw out there was for the black people. Ain't none in white fucking areas. Every election disputed is black folks.
Joe.
All right, I'm
I
done.
will assure
Joe.
the audience that we are literally looking into that as we speak. Those are some serious allegations. And
Can I respond
going
to
to
Joe?
report fairly on the election here. We're not biased in any means. We're not here
Are
to
we
promote
biased?
Trump
I
or
need some
Biden.
biased motherfucker. I wanted more Republicans.
We want to
up here
know
than
what the
anything.
people think, and we're going to find out why.
Let me respond to Joe. Can I do that?
Yeah, before you respond, I'd just like to say to Joe, I don't know that what I am aware of applies to what you're reporting here, but I have heard reports of specifically Republican onlookers, official election staff, if you will, or people involved in the oversight of the election process were not allowed within 20 feet at best of inspecting these ballots or something. So
They
while
went to
they
court
may
over that,
be deemed
and that was
legal ballots,
and they won that in court. By the way, he put dozens of bogus fucking voting shit claims in. That was the one they won, that those people were not close enough. But it won't change anything. All the rest of them fuckers up, everyone he's lost, been thrown out, and called incredible or dumb as fuck. Why is he clogging up the fucking court system with just making claims? Yeah, they burning shit in the back of the library. Niggas got to go check it out. Just making shit up.
We'll give the
He
floor
shit
to
here off the internet.
Mr. Gladly.
Joe,
I would like to respond.
You're too deep into it, Joe. You're too deep into it, Joe.
He's a passionate man.
Right. You actually think that one side cares and the other guy don't, right?
Do you know me?
Remember that song? Remember Amanda Berry when she was found in Cleveland, Ohio, and the dude said, "Dead giveaway." I knew there was something was wrong when a little bitty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Dead giveaway. Right? I knew something was wrong when the Black Lives Matter people ran into a rich white man's arms. It didn't matter which side you ran into. Right? Now, people make a big story about it. It's a big distraction from what's ever happening behind our backs. But like, you have to remember that none of these people care about us, dude. The Biden dude, you think he cares about us? Like, do you think that Trump cares about us?
So,
None of them care about us, bro.
With that said,
But-
without disparaging Joe Cool or whatever,
Yes,
because it's not about
can I
who's right or
respond
wrong.
to that? Because that is very disparaging, bro. Left wing, right wing,
not to
same
disparage you,
bird, baby.
What
Right?
would you say?
It's not in my interest. I realize that.
Mr.
I
Ladley,
see it. I see it happening across America. People are running into Joe Biden's arms. Now, look, this dude's not
Dirty.
any
get
less
me
of a
started.
crook.
Wolfie's talking
He's
about
not
the
any less of a
monopoly.
crook. This dude
That
wrote
shit he
the
did
crime
over there.
bill for Bill Clinton. Joe Biden did that. He wrote the crime bill for Bill Clinton, right? Now, to have people saying Trump is the guy, he's the reason why police are shooting black people, that is far from the truth. Police were shooting black people under Obama, right? But they brainwash people into believing this is a circumstance and this is who you should vote
systemic,
for.
right? Yeah, all right.
I agree.
So now, Wolfie,
God,
with that said, what would you say the end game is? Like, what would you say the state is trying to do? What would you say this is all about? If it's not about
Absolutely.
Trump being a greedy blah blah blah, or Biden being a pushover for China,
Okay.
like, what is it all about, man? What the hell is going
All
on
right.
around here?
All right, Trump wasn't supposed to be even elected, dude. They thought that Hillary was going to win that shit. They thought it so bad they made mainstream media try to brainwash you even before he was elected president.
Agree.
They were like, "There's no way he's going to win." Hold on, let me finish. Right? He's an outsider. Like, he's a scumbag too. Like, let's get it right. He's a scumbag too.
Well, wait a minute. Let me stop you just one moment. Let me
president
stop you
that
one
wasn't.
moment. Let me stop you one moment for clarification. Do you think Trump stopped his life, his multi-million-dollar life, to become president because he's an asshole and he's greedy, or because he actually wanted to do something for the people?
No, I believe that he felt that he, like many sheep in America, he felt like being the president could change our country for the better.
So
and he
was
found out
naive.
the hard way that the deep state is going to do whatever they want. As long as the establishment gets their way, they're happy. If they don't get their way,
I agree with your assessment, sir.
They're upset.
I agree with your assessment. He was naive.
And
in
I'm
the
not
sense
saying
that
like Trump's the fucking god of America. I'm just saying Trump wasn't.
he's
an
not able to
establishment
do anything
person.
as one man. He's not able to do any. The president.
They
not
make
wields
it that
very
way.
little
That's
power.
the two-party system. That's the bullshit.
That's
You know.
Pelosi in office.
All right, that's a fair.
No, I don't
assessment.
even want it.
kind of
I don't
agree with
even
that.
want it at this point because when I see what they did to Trump, even though I didn't agree with half of the shit he did, I did agree that he was for our constitutional rights.
You
Which
agree
I
that he's a
did
racist
see.
fuck? Do we agree that he's a racist fuck?
The people use guiding principles and lessons.
Wait,
like
wait,
don't
please
know
Fish,
what
answer
the
that
guy
before we go
is.
into the people's guiding principles. Do we agree that he is a racist fuck? How long does it take to answer that shit?
No, I don't believe he is racist. I think he was.
Do you believe Joe Biden's
to be
not racist?
portrayed as racist.
Wolfie, is he a racist fuck?
Joe Biden.
I don't know the guy. I
I
don't
didn't
know
ask
him.
you about
None of us
Biden.
really know him
Bucket, is he a
personally.
racist fuck?
I don't know
Nigga, you
Trump.
don't know the head of the Ku Klux Klan. You know he's a racist fuck. That mean I don't know the guy.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Joe Cool, evidently and very passionately believes that Donald Trump
The
is
news
a racist.
is a crazy thing.
That is okay.
No shit. All right.
Listen. Not everyone has to believe that. And
Agreed, but I'm going to
would
argue my point, and I'm going to argue my
Absolutely.
point well and perhaps vehemently. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. And you're welcome
yes.
to do that here. And
I
I'm
just
glad
said
you
that
did
every
hey, let me ask
freaking,
you, Joe Cole,
every,
if I
every
can,
lawsuit
Tyrant Slayer.
he put in was after black people. What the fuck is that?
If I can,
Y'all don't
Tyrant
see that?
Slayer, can,
Well, that's a whole nother
go ahead,
conversation.
Wolf,
I'd
I'm
like
sorry.
to have a show just
And let's
on
get
racism.
Sheba Nam in here at some point too, guys. She
Wolfie
was
can wrap up his.
You like 5
his-
minutes yet?
I just want to ask Joe Cool one thing. Do you think that when Joe Biden is he's in his car, with Joe Biden, before he was the vice president, just living in Delaware, being Joe and shit. Do you think like if he pulled up to the Whole Foods and he was waiting for his wife, or his wife got back and they were waiting for one of their kids, and he saw a black person, do you think that he's not locking his car doors? You don't think he's racist too?
I think not only is he racist, I think he's a crook. I think he's going to take my guns. He's going to shut us down. He's going to make us wear masks. He's going to make us get that shit. He's a rich white man, just like Nancy Pelosi, just like all those motherfuckers. Yes.
And that's what's wrong with the world. We're celebrating that we ran into a rich white man's arms. Now, Donald Trump's one too.
World is they're both
rich.
Dead giveaway.
Catch that blinded, Joe. How do y'all not see the fucking Trump is a racist? You can't say out your mouth that you see both sides, Wolfie. You do not. You haven't noticed Trump calling motherfuckers Mexicans, this, that. You haven't noticed him trying to ban all Muslims.
No,
you ain't noticed all that racist shit.
Joe, we can do that too. We can edit videos and we can take people out of context to make them look like
that's a stick with this one.
Look,
listen, that's what the
everybody
NDAA
from
is all
every
about.
nationality is a racist.
This is a whole show unto itself, where I believe
Spanish people hate other Spanish people.
Mr. Joe Cool
Hispanic people hate other Hispanic people.
Hate Wolfie.
I've heard Mexicans say, "Oh, those Ecuadorians are fucking bullshit."
Trump is a god. He got my
racist.
I hate Wolfie because you're so pale.
Is a god.
Ladies.
Oh, it's because my screen is on.
All right,
Steve, I'm dying. John, you cats. Let's hear from you guys.
All right, here's the deal. All these viewpoints are welcome.
I love black women.
It's hard to hear people. It's hard to hear people when people are talking over each other. I don't want to be one of those hosts that's like a pushover, but I also don't want to be a dick. So I'm just going to reiterate real quick and just say, like, I think what Joe Cool is saying is almost requiring a show unto itself. And I think I should invite Mr. Joe Cool, if he would be so kind to oblige, an opportunity to take the helm here at Tyrant Slayer Studios and bring the people to him here.
You need an hour just for this.
I've been looking for a fucking home. I've been asking.
And we can focus on that particular topic of racism and the division that he believes is coming from this president and why. And we can have counterpoints. And
my guy was talking about, Jeff was talking about coming out the closet after all these years. Oh, I shouldn't have said his name.
All right. But I want to kind of keep the focus on topic and move on over to Big Sexy, who's had his hand up so graciously and so patiently.
Can I say something about racism versus bigotry real quick?
You can say anything you want.
My mother was a racist. She didn't hate people because of the way they looked. By racist, she wanted me to marry another Greek girl so we can keep the Greek thing going. That's the type of racist she was, as compared to a bigot who literally just hates people for whatever his
never made a
perception is.
distinction.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Now
I come
got
from
something to think about.
So my mom didn't hate people for the way they look. She just was a racist that she wanted me to be with a Greek woman.
That is dope.
There's two different things. Anyway, what's the original question? The original topic.
That's prejudice, not racism.
What do you think about the state of the fucking whatever and
the country?
Hang on, Joe. I'll let the man know. He
okay about that.
Move aside, let the man go through.
Yeah,
let the man go
through. You have
through.
passage, Joe. You are the man here. But I will let the man know that the topic is what your general synopsis of, what's your basically State of the Union opinion? And
State of the Union? Or
where's the country at in your eyes? What do you think the election has to play in that? And what would you like to see in the future?
Third party. Fourth party.
Yeah, eighth party.
Too.
Right?
I agree. Now, please elaborate on that. We're going to give Mr. John Felix
let me elaborate,
the floor.
please. Everyone, calm down, okay?
Yeah. You got it.
On Tuesday, and let's say the elections were fair, and I'm not saying rigging, I'm not saying vote stuff, I'm not saying ballot stuffing. In 2008, there was 13 people on the ballot for president. Now, if 13 people got equal time and had equal time at the debates and had objective news coverage, every candidate would theoretically have a 1 in 13 chance of winning the election. Well, instead what happened was they took Obama, which I don't like Obama. I don't like Bush. All of them commit crimes against humanity and the freedom and the Constitution. So fuck the two criminal parties. Let's start there. Secondly, in 2008, one of my guys was running, Ron Paul, and he totally got marginalized by the media while they raised Obama to be up like the second coming messiah of America, and he was going to save the planet. And don't get me again. I don't care if it's Obama, Bush, Gore, whoever the fuck. Two parties are criminal. They're leading the country towards heavier progressive taxation and government through the barrel of a gun. The exact opposite of what the 22 of us plus the 2,200 of us outside of ANN are working to fucking fight against. So we shouldn't be fighting about race and politics. We should be fighting about freedom versus not freedom. End of story. And it don't matter what color you are at that point.
Yeah,
well said, Mr. Felix. Is there anything you'd like to add to that? Hang on, folks. Hang on now. The man still has the floor. I really like what you said there. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Subscribe to John Felix on YouTube and
you ain't got enough subs, bro.
I got
enough, you greedy fuck.
I got Etsy store. I make beautiful coin rings.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know John Felix, then I hate to say it, there might be something wrong with you. You're not living life.
I'd like to yield the remainder of my time to the very talented and sexy voice.
The man will sing to you.
All right, great. Thank you for that compliment.
And he will help you protect your civil rights. He will help others, help others.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what John Felix was saying here, and I know what he's saying, and
I'm not a piggy,
I know
man,
what's
go
going
ahead.
on.
Yeah,
I'm watching the news and shit, and I'm deciphering it for myself, and I'm extrapolating it, or whatever kind of adjective you want to use, right? So what they're doing here is there was one day when they pushed that old man to the concrete in Buffalo, where he was bleeding out.
Yeah,
that there was like an hour on like CNN or something where they were shaming just cops and not for race.
And those cops
it was just police acting bad, and there's a police problem. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah. But now they really fast went right back to just black people being shot by cops, and not just. I mean, black people are being shot more by police than white people are, because white fucking cops are afraid of black people because they're like, I don't know, it's gangster rap or something. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Yes, agreed. No, you're right.
But what I'm saying is, they're not making it an issue about police are just out of fucking pocket. They're just idiots, and they're acting stupid to everybody, and they just try to control
for a moment there.
I want to stop you there and say it's the unions and the financial orgy and policies that they're in bed with the state. It's the unions and the relationship with the state.
Do you guys pay attention to the FOP around you guys?
Non-union police officers don't fuck around.
The FOP president in Philadelphia is the worst. I'm sorry, Tyrant Slayer, but I just wanted to finish to say that.
It's cool. Yeah, no, but really, I think if we as the community that we are and the activists that we've proven to be are here at a round table with our heads together, I think it's incumbent upon us to consider the fact that the best way to go about changing how the police operate is by going after the unions that the police are in. We have to find a way to change the relationship between the unions and the state. And when we do that, everything will change.
Now, here's the thing. The union in Philadelphia, the FOP, that's a private lodge. I really don't have license or privilege to video record inside that place.
Of course not.
But I can catch them coming out drunk from the bar.
You're
behind
fucking
it.
ABC and right you can. And you could start making your own documented surveillance of the activities that take place there and beyond that driveway and into the public grounds, of the general public, and show how it could be a risk or show what the problem is. Or,
I might get shot because McNesby's the guy in Philadelphia.
Martin Luther King Jr. got shot too. So did John Kennedy, and so did Robert Kennedy. And you know what? I'll fucking die a martyr for my kids.
Right.
I'll tell you that right now. I'll be the first one to say it. My wife's.
I'd rather die now than to go through a year more of this COVID bullshit.
Listen, all we have the engine of America will always run as long as we have the will to run it, my man. There was a time in this country when people went to war over a breakfast drink. People went to war over tea, man. They're like, you're going to tax our tea?
Yo, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. But
it does sound good.
The government has missiles that'll go off and bombs after everybody's already fucking dead. They'll still be shooting off.
We can be peaceful.
They have
an
end switch.
We can be
peaceful.
I'll
be like real, and I've heard this.
Instead of voting for people, we run ourselves, bro. What is stopping any of us from doing something ourselves?
My wife.
How do we not know that?
How
do we not know? How do we not know that the next level shit is beyond ANN and in public office? How do we
find out when it happens, man?
Hey, we got to go someplace real. And we can get as real as we can get in the confines of where we're at. But let's get
rich on freedom or die trying.
Mr. Felix,
exactly.
All right, Mr. Felix, real quick, and then we got to get to Bucket Boy and Shiva because I haven't heard from them and I feel rude.
That's what I was going to say. Let's get to Bucket Boy and Shiva.
All right. Bucket Boy, floor is yours. 5 minutes. Clock starts now.
All right, let me make my statements before anybody says anything. We get to the comments afterwards. So I get my full 5 minutes.
Fucking Bucket Boy.
What's up, Wolfie? So, okay. First off, let's go back to 4 years ago. 4 years ago, if I do recall, Donald Trump told Bernie Sanders to run independent. Why did Donald Trump tell Bernie Sanders to run independent? Because Donald Trump even knew the Clintons were rigging the fucking system then. And
that's true.
Wasn't the Clintons though, but it's the
Democratic DNC
the
party.
DNC, yes, the DNC.
I'm an unaffiliated registered voter. I don't believe in a party. I believe in one belief as a human being, as a true American, as a true patriot. We should be able to put in who we want. There should be no RNC. There should be no DNC.
No parties.
The allegiance should be to the Constitution and to the Bill of Rights, not a political party.
Years ago, Bernie Sanders was told by Donald Trump to go independent while he could. And Bernie Sanders probably would have had it back then and beat Donald Trump and Clinton at the same time. I'm going to put that out there.
Who would have beat him at the same time?
Fast forward 4 years later. We got a president now, Biden, and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, when she was in California, the senator and whatnot, it even says right here, I'm going to highlight this article, and I want Tyrant Studios to show this real quick, because it's one little paragraph right here simply states what Kamala Harris's issue is.
All right, send it in the private chat so I can get it up.
I think I'm already past what you're thinking about, man.
Well, I know where you're going, but, he's got the floor. Let the man speak.
It's a screen share right there on your panel. In the 2020 presidential race, the distribution and imprisonment of African-American men has become a major issue and is posing an especially big challenge for Harris. California's first black U.S. senator, she is counting on strong support from African Americans, but many black voters are weary of her 27 years as prosecutors enforcing laws that send African Americans to prison. So you're telling me, yes, they're all racist in one way or another. I'm not going to lie. But right there and then, you got Kamala Harris with the most black offense of black African Americans offense alone in California, which is now, it has been for the last few years now, a sanctuary state. Then you got Joe Biden now as the main person, the commander-in-chief, that believes in pedophilia. So yes, where did my vote go towards? My vote went towards Trump at the time.
Sorry,
I didn't want that in office. But if it went back 4 years ago, we would have had Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders would have listened to Trump and went independent. And do I
All right, please tell me your 5 minutes are up, bro. Because there's a lot of shit in there that we would need to address.
Come on now.
Politicism? I just can't even believe in politicism. Like, I can't even
Let's
agree.
give the floor to the man from the UK, ladies and gentlemen, an outside perspective, looking in, the one, the only, the Shiva.
Well, I suppose I don't really have an opinion on the election per se, other than a frivolous one, which is to say that Trump's press conferences were fantastically entertaining. And I don't imagine that Joe Biden's are going to be anywhere near as funny. But, you know, it's like I don't really have a stake in it as far as I'm concerned. It's one American being swapped out for another American, you know.
Yeah, all right. What would you say on the State of the Union? What would your general, if a newcomer came into your town, you're at the local bar or you're grocery shopping, and someone come up to you and you're like, "Hey, I was thinking about moving to America, yeah? What would you suggest? You know, where should I go? You know, like, what would you say to them?"
I mean, I would question why anybody would want to place themselves under an American jurisdiction.
Wow. All right. Now, please, sir, you have 5 minutes. Please elaborate and be as detailed as possible.
Yeah, sure.
I want to rebut.
All of your officers appear to carry firearms. Fuck that shit. So it's that simple, really.
I agree with that.
That's a very powerful statement, and I'd like for you to, you know, for people who might be new to this community, might be new to me, might be new to you, and they may just be tuning in. I'd like you to elaborate on that. Explain to the people.
Yeah, because I was listening to music. I missed the whole thing. I come back there like, holy cow, that was incredibly deep, Sheba. And I missed the whole thing. So, yes, if you can encapsulate it.
I suppose it's like, I mean, to be honest, I tend to view the States at the moment in the same way that I view the British Empire before it collapsed.
Very interesting, sir.
Let's hope it collapses.
Well, see, then
the American Empire.
Was the British Empire divided into two parties?
Anglo-American there'll just be another empire that rises up to replace it, right?
The British Empire, when they fell, were they divided like us, Sheba?
Well, we were a monarchy. We were, yeah. So I think in terms of
Tyrant Slayer.
In terms of your political system, I suppose we have a slightly different setup over here in that there is a wider range of parties. So, for example, the Brexit Party, although they haven't achieved office, they were able to effect a major political upset in the UK through the Brexit referendum. You know, and people do often vote for the smaller parties as a protest against the three major parties.
How effective is that? Voting for them smaller parties, does that work?
Yes, it can be very effective. Yeah.
No, in America, no, Joe Cool, not under this.
Talking about I just want to backtrack.
Why not,
This is why Donald Trump made that deal, if you will, with the Republican Party, which he did not want to be a part of, but knew he couldn't win without.
Oh, I would agree.
All right, and they backstabbed they backstabbed him on that deal. They screwed him. But he needed that because he knows damn well, as much as I know, as much as Ron Paul knows. And thank you so much, John Felix, for mentioning Ron Paul. Ron Paul was the guy to save America in 2012. He was the Donald Trump of 2012, and he was the JFK of 1963, the modern JFK. Mr. Ron Paul, the Senator Ron Paul. Yeah, okay. Dude, this man was the real deal, and America could have been saved. And you know what the media did to him? The same thing they're doing to me on Facebook and YouTube, and the same thing they're doing to you guys on Facebook and YouTube.
Outsiders.
They're censoring us. They did a complete media blackout on this guy. You got a whole county of votes out of Maine that wasn't even counted. You're talking about election fraud being non-existent. Jesus H. Christ. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah,
I pulled up a video that I'd like to show after we get through everyone's point of view. I'd like to show a video concerning that sort of media blackout, which is absolutely relevant to what we're experiencing as activists here. I've just gotten news from, what's his name? The guy from Hartford. He's got the studio, honey. The guy from studio, he owns the studio on Pearl Street in Hartford. What's his name? Impact Audits. Is it Impact Audits? Okay. Impact Audits owns a phenomenal studio out of Pearl Street. He's willing to do some great work with me and with us as a community. He's been in the shadows and involved for the last 3 years. He's a phenomenal paralegal, and he's very knowledgeable, and he wants to do great things with us. He's just pulled some body cam footage, some dispatch, radio audio from state police and local Enfield police here in Connecticut regarding the I guess engagement that I had with them going out with Connecticut Constitutional Television in out of East Hartford, who is also an auditor out of Connecticut, who is we'll say put into fear with his initial engagements in this community and in the movement, trying to fight for what's right. He's a father, and he has kids, and he's worried about the future, but he was kind of scared out of doing the right thing without some support. And I've gotten these folks to come out and join me and do some great things. And this footage just shows how they want to suppress police, the state that is in bed with this union in which the police are operating on behalf of, whether it's mandates or laws, whether it's a civil issue, and they're coming up in my driveway trying to boss me around and threaten me like, you want to do this the easy way or the hard way? Like, I'm saying, for real, man, like, what the fuck, over? They just have no respect for the people and our rights and what my grandfather fought for in the wars. They got no respect. They'll censor us. They'll steamroll us. They'll limit my engagement and my reach. They'll limit all that stuff based on the content I put out, and I have screenshots and daily analytical data that I've been closely observing and obsessively analyzing.
Tyrant Slayer, let me ask you. You don't watch any television media?
No, sir. No, the only thing, I haven't paid for cable television in, let's see, I'm 38 now.
Well, you can probably get that shit on the internet.
I haven't paid for cable television in about 15 years.
All right. You can probably get
it all started after I went camping. I went camping for like 3 weeks, and I just
listen. I had a question for you before you went into your camping story, bruh.
All right. Mr. Joe Cool, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Now, ladies.
Yeah. Listen. Do you think you're missing out by not watching them? Because I think you do.
No, in fact, I think I'm better focused. I'm more focused because I don't have so many misdirectives. I don't have so much misdirection. I look at corporate media.
That's like saying the less information, the better I'm off.
Sometimes less is more, and it's more often than you'd think, my brother. It's like
I would agree, but that doesn't change the fact that you need to investigate 10 pieces of 10 investigations and 9 of them bullshit.
Listen, see, I keep up on everything that you're aware of. Granted, I was not aware of the specific report you referred to in your
That's the value of them. They're going to try to spin you, but you're a smart guy.
Well,
that's
exactly.
where I get all my little reports and shit from. Fox,
what I had laid
CNN.
What I had laid out as a presentation this evening in that software was how I go through the nightly news, how I get my information for the day. I was actually going to title the video, "Where Do You Get Your Truth?" And because the
That would have
software
been
was
dope,
not,
right?
yeah,
Spank
no,
wire.
for real, bro. And I was just gonna show everybody what I do to get my information.
Pornhub.
I don't have cable television,
That was a
and
great
I
idea.
will become
That was
aware
a
of
great
all
idea.
of
What
these
happened to it?
reports. Well, the software is not cooperating. I'll do it another
Oh,
time for
okay.
real, and it'll be better because I'll let you kind of lead the helm, and we'll discuss the information prior, and we'll get it all up. And I'd really like to have you back to speak your point about your overall view of Donald Trump, the president, and the divisiveness that you believe is accompanied by
We
his
could do that right
presidency.
now. There's no better topic.
Well,
That's
no.
what I came here for.
Yeah,
I
but that's
saw
not what
that
tonight's
shit. I
forum
wanted
is
to
for.
hear-
Fucking do
That's
this
not
shit.
what tonight's forum is for. I
Oh,
think
I'm
that is
sorry.
a
I thought I
whole
read that
other
in the
discussion.
topic.
Just
I
leave
thought
me
the
and Joe in
topic
the
said
room,
something
man.
about politics.
Just leave me and Joe in the room alone.
Well, right. See, yeah.
I mean, come on, let's get
buddy.
into it. What are we afraid of, baby?
No.
And
We're
now
not going
was
to
the
go there
time,
tonight.
right?
Not tonight. That's a whole
Hey.
other show unto itself. I want to talk about what people have seen in the election, what they see in the country overall, and what they want to see going forward. Whether
Well,
it's Biden or Trump,
who's won
Trump,
the
Biden
election?
aside, like what is the
Let-
aspiration
let-
of
let
the
me
American
speak here
spirit
on
right
this.
now?
Can I have the
Let me
first
rephrase
answer?
the question. Is the election over?
No, it's absolutely not over. The electorates haven't even met in Washington. That doesn't even happen until December. I think what the mainstream media, from the New York Times to CNN and every other local and national news network who has reported otherwise, is actually guilty of an act of sedition. What they're doing is priming. They're priming a national outrage. Yeah, oh yeah, they're priming a national outrage. They're overloading the carburetor with fuel, and they're going to try to ignite it all at once. And there's going to be a big explosion because
then
the
they'll blame it on
backfire
the
is
other
going to
side.
be on Biden, and everyone's going to
Tyron,
presume
can I ask you-
based on the
Let me
reports.
ask you, Tyron.
Hold on a minute
Let me
now.
ask. Let me follow up on what he's just saying right
Everyone's going to presume, based on the reports,
okay.
that Donald Trump stole the election because of the way everyone's been conditioned to believe Biden's already won. And
there.
there is no
Let
official
me
winner
ask
yet.
you a question, bro. Let me ask you a question.
It's crime. It's crime.
All right.
It's like playing Survivor.
Every election in our lifetime and previous, this is how it's been done, right? That's not saying it should be done like that.
With the exception of the 2000
Wait, let me ask the
election
question. Stop
hang on.
it.
I want to clarify
Stop
your
it. I'm
point.
not asking. I'm not
the
done.
joke
Don't
thing-
hold on.
It's
Don't
not
hang on. Let
entirely
me
true,
finish
though.
the
You
question.
can't go on you can't go on a basis of
You
something that's
damn
not entirely
auditors.
true. I understand what you're trying to lead on.
No, you
However,
don't understand, and you could have let me finish,
Yeah,
and then you
finish.
would have understood.
No, but
Don't
just
tell
give
me
a
you're
moment, Joe.
psychic and cut me off.
No, I'm not psychic, but there is an exception in the 2000 election where
And it had to be told right now. You had to cut my story to tell me about that exception.
The results of the election are not called on the night of the election like all other elections. In our
I didn't say
lifetime,
nothing about that.
with the
Can I finish
exception of
asking
the
my
2000
question?
Election. I mean,
Yes.
Now, you could have avoided all that if you just let me finish speaking, is what I'm saying. And it was rude to interrupt anyway.
Moving forward.
Yes, moving forward. This is the way the elections, generally speaking, do not hang on words. This is how it's been done. This is a question. This is how it's been done time and time again. The networks call it. We all roll. The guy concedes, and the guy is, inaugurated on the 20th or whatever. Why is this one different? Why this time is everybody in uproar? This is different. Why doesn't this go like every other time?
well, it is going like every other time.
Mr.
The only thing
Felix.
different is that the media is pre-reporting the results, but the results, unlike every other time, except the time in 2000, are being contested.
The results
and
that
the
came in
entire
exactly
process
like
is
every
being
other year,
audited.
yeah?
There is an audit happening right now, and all
Then
of us should be supportive of
the
that.
results of the election. They are just like every time. In fact, they
They're
held
not.
off longer
They're being
this time. Wouldn't you
contested.
agree?
Well,
Can
they're
Mr.
being
Felix
contested, so I
intervene?
can't agree. I
Would
know
you
what you're
agree that they held off longer? Normally, they would have called it quicker, but this time they held off longer.
Well, yes, and the reason for that.
So
could
what
be
is the
argued.
problem?
The problem is the media, despite everyone holding off on an official election result officially, the media has already declared a winner and continuously reports things like Joe Biden's already got a panel together for COVID. And
They've done that always. Why do we stop the country? Because they do it again this time.
It's almost
They've
like
always done that.
Look at it like this. No, they haven't. They haven't, because there hasn't always been a contested election. Every election isn't contested. Like the Obama elections weren't contested.
Agreed.
Bush,
I think it was the Gore contest shit was
that
contested.
Was the only one. That was
contested.
the only one in our lifetime that was contested.
Yes, and what happened?
This one. So this is only the second time in our lifetime.
While it was still in court.
Right. This is the second time only.
I think it's time for John Felix to intervene.
Yes. Sorry, John. And you know what?
I love that you're both passionate, man, but you guys got to pause every now and then.
I'm trying to like draw teeth with him. He won't answer a direct question, Joe. You ask him what time is it, he'd be like, the moon was born in the left atmosphere. What time is it? Well, if you put your pants on one leg, it's hard.
Well, John could probably make sense of this. I'm pretty sure he's going to.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the floor to Mr. John Felix for
I've completely
words
lost
of wisdom.
So, give me a second. Everybody breathe. Moment of silence for a moment of silence. Okay. This election, okay, we have exponential amounts of media, exponential amounts of information, misinformation sprinkled with the truth. Not many people have the ability to filter the truths out of the pile of shit that comes from the internet and the prostitutes on TV. So if you really think about it, at this day and age, we all kind of have our own perception of what the country should be.
Exactly.
But like I keep going and circling back around, it's all based on freedom, man. And whether you're racist or not, if I'm free and I can defend myself with a Glock, then I'm fucking free. Regardless.
Yes, we have more in common than apart. You're right. That's what we need to be focusing on.
Right, Joe.
So there's so much more exposure and lies and sludge and bullshit now.
Divisiveness.
Like we said, no parties was a good idea. Lots of parties is a better idea. Two-party monopoly. Two-party monopoly. Fuck that shit.
Here's what I gotta say. The only win we can get is if we all vote for the third party the next voting period.
Yeah, that's as pitiful as saying, hey, don't buy gas
to get a 5% vote. We have to get a 5% vote for a third party in order for them to be eligible for the debates.
Listen, the process is rigged. It's never going to happen.
There's
video evidence of it. It's been going on for decades. It's been going on since the Nixon administration.
Right.
Well, hold on.
You got to dismantle and reinvent it or something.
It's been going on since John Kennedy got his brains blown out all over his wife.
Real quick, because my phone's at 10%. In 1993, there was three parties. They were all in the debates. Ross Perot was one of the guys.
I was in fourth grade, and I wanted Ross Perot to win.
Gary Johnson.
First person I ever voted for, but let me finish real quick, and then I'll shut my mouth. He got 1 out of every 5 votes. At the time, the debates were run by the Women League of Voters, and that's how he got in the debates. After 1993, the two-party criminal syndicate fucking shit their pants, took the power away from the Women League of Voters. You never seen another fucking third-party candidate in the debates ever since. And we want to talk about election rigging. There it fucking is, right in plain sight. There's so much conflict of interest and bullshit. I always say that if they can make a fucking app for American Idol and get within, up and down a certain amount, then motherfucker, the government can make a secure app where you're videoing your vote like you're in the booth. Just like we're fucking in here right now.
Yeah, but they don't want that. All right.
They don't want that. So many more people would vote.
You can see the room.
Yeah, they would. But it would be an outsider.
All right.
It'd be an outsider that's not in the establishment, much like Donald Trump, who, dude's a fucking jerk. He's a dickhead. And you know what I'm saying? He's fucking ripped off a lot of people, whatever, right? I feel like he did a great job for the country, but people don't like him because they just say over 4 years in the media, oh, fuck Trump, Jimmy Kimmel shows.
Jimmy Kimmel shows like the vote in his first 15 minutes.
All right, you just plugged Jimmy Kimmel on my show, and I fucking hate that
bro.
guy. So
no, I hate him.
Jimmy Kimmel.
I hate him.
Away his
right, I know, but
he's a
we just said
scumbag.
his name. I can't even remember his name. I'll never say his name again because I don't remember his name, especially
he's the guy in what John was talking
and
about.
With that, we're going to take it back to
TMZ
Shiva.
does the
I
same
will
shit.
get your ass, young man.
The guy with the election shit. The guy, excuse me, the guy.
Shiva got cut off.
Okay,
and
hold
we're
on.
gonna let the man get the remainder of his time.
I'm gonna lose the moment. I'm trying to address what John
strikes
said.
his Vogue stance. All right, Vogue.
All right, the ballot fixing the boxes and shit that you were saying we could get down to a T of fucking America's Best Dancer or whatever it can. You're right.
God damn it.
The people who are supposed to do it, the federal cats who are supposed to do it, I forget their fucking acronym or whatever. They went in and they examined everything, and they said this was the most secure election we've ever had. Excuse me, stop it. And this is the most secure election we've ever had. And
he was just fired.
God damn it,
Joseph.
Most secure election we ever had. Go on.
Thank you. It was the most secure election we ever had. And the guy who said it, then a day or two later, Trump fired his ass yesterday. The guy for saying that shit. And that's another big ass story.
Let me respond to that, please. So again, you're getting involved in left-right politics. Even if it was the most accurate, perfectly accurate election of all time, how many millions and millions of people would vote if they could open their phone up and get into a secured voting booth app?
Well, based off of what is my question? Based off of what?
What?
Like, if this is the most secure, based off of what election is it the most secure?
Oh, see, again,
like,
you're
was it foreign interference? Like, there's such an unclear statement. Listen, what I'm saying is, you raised a great point. It's left-right politics, and it's literally, look at this in my hand.
You only fight one way, though. That come out of your mouth, but you only fight right.
Here's what I gotta say.
But you only fight from the right.
No,
if I make a video,
right. I'm a libertarian, conservative.
That's what you say.
If I make a video and I edit it, right, just to get out weak parts, like 5 minutes of walking and this and that, and what could have happened between time and shit is all that everybody's gonna say, right? But when people just see the shit they cut up on TV, they're just like, well, that guy said that, and that's a big story.
Because they have credibility.
That is bullshit, right? The books I read, Wolfie, are bullshit. The movies,
they could be too.
Oh, wait.
And John Felix and Joe Cool.
But I have to get to them, right? Listen, why do everybody cut me off? It's like you guys do not want to hear my message.
Not me.
Right? I got to sit and listen to you cats, but you can cut me off at will.
I'm listening, bro.
I know you are, John. I'm sorry. But you say I got to struggle, and motherfuckers will talk over me even once I start. It's fucking weird. It's because you don't want to hear my fucking message.
I do. Bring it.
Anyway, somebody, I don't forget what the fuck was, yes. All books, all people, all sources of information are 90% bullshit. I acknowledge that going in. I know that going in. And I say it's worth it to go in there and find that jewel over here, over there. Right? You do not go in buying that CNN is this. So, and don't think that anyone watching that is blind and believes the obvious. Oh, you didn't see Rachel Maddow? I was bullshitting. Yes. But you still managed to get the fucking jewels out of there. And so it's still worth watching all of that shit.
Well, one of the things I do, and
watch it on the internet.
I wanted to present to the people this evening using XSplit, the software, which didn't work out so well for me, was how I kind of sift through all of that stuff. I don't just go to right-wing websites. I listen to NPR, man. I fucking go to CNN. I got all this stuff. I get every part of the story from all sorts of resources, and I look for what's different about how they're reporting it. And when I do that with a 10, maybe 12, or even 6 sometimes, like I'm so efficient at it now, I don't need to sift through 15 different reports. I can go off of the first 5 at this point and kind of be pretty accurate in what my assessment of the truth really is.
Right.
And it's indicative of every.
That's your opinion, bro.
I'm sorry.
That's just your opinion.
Well, it's just what it's not an opinion. It's just my method, more or less, of how I kind of decipher the news. Take the information in, reverse engineer it, reconstruct it, and make my own conclusion out of it, rather than being steered into something that I don't believe and the government wants me to believe. Now, with that said, and I think severely overdue, we need to get to Mr. Shiva here, who has respectfully and patiently been waiting. He's been the most quiet individual this evening, and I would be even more rude if I made him wait.
We really are talking about American shit that we would not be talking about shit.
Well, I think Shiva's got a very powerful perspective, given the fact that he does not live in the United States. Now, the questions for Shiva are as followed. What is your general analysis of the United States as a whole right now? What would you like to see for the United States going forward? And what do you think could be happening with this election? And that is all. Shiva has the floor, ladies and gentlemen.
What I'd like to say is, I like to play snooker. Snooker.
Is that a chick?
Shiva's mic is not muted. Unmute mic.
No, man. Snooker's a...
He muted himself. He doesn't
remuting my mic.
All right.
Shiva, you're muted.
Maybe there is a technical issue with Shiva.
The amoeba.
All right, there he is.
Right, but we can't hear him.
Shiva, if you're live, say something.
It's a hardware mute. Is your mic muted on your headset or on your mic itself? Hit that button.
No, I'm an idiot.
I just
hadn't muted. I've actually been talking, going, why is that guy saying snooker over me? I'm such a fucking idiot. Oh my word.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sir Shiva.
Oh my god. Right, what do I... Okay, so... Alright, so first of all, when people ask me what do I think of America, that automatically puts me in a weird, sort of slightly odd position because what I think about America isn't necessarily the same as what I think about Americans.
All right.
And, you know, because Americans that I've met largely seem to be quite affable and honourable and upright. However, when you're talking about what do you think about America, so to me, that kind of implies the American government. And, my answer would therefore be the same as it would be about any other government, which is that your government is lying to you, and to think otherwise is naive. Essentially. And to think that your government has your best interests at heart as an individual is also naive, because they don't. So it's like, what do I think about? I mean, in terms of what do I think about American partisan politics? It's genuinely not a subject that interests me very much, and one of the reasons why I have stayed quiet is because, other than asking Joe Cool or other jokey question about what's got his knickers in a twist, right? I wouldn't have very much to contribute to that conversation.
Yeah, your knickers are in a twist. Right, now your panties are all bunched.
In terms of going forward, I think what's going to happen is that the States is going to inevitably adopt the same path that's followed by every empire that's ever existed, which is that it's going to hit a peak and then it's going to slowly disintegrate and crumble.
Have we hit that peak yet, and are we in a disintegration, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know. There is some evidence to suggest that you can track the decline of a civilization with the rise of decadence.
By what? Decadence?
I have a question.
Yeah, by the rise of
Let me hear what
decadence.
he said. By its decadence.
Yes. So if you look at the Roman Empire, like when the Roman Empire was kind of expanding, they were very militaristic, yada yada yada, and then as it became established, they became more decadent, and so. And now I don't know how true that is, but I suppose it is a metric that you can use and measure against empires in the past. So, how decadent is your society?
I guess pretty much, with the Kim Kardashian type shit and the fucking bling bling on my wrist bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Sir Shiva and his analysis
Sir
on...
Shiva. I'm not knighted.
He is giving us his analysis on America, not necessarily Americans, but America and his overall general view. And I think the man's got a really good point of view here. Go on, Shiva, please.
Can I ask Shiva a question? Do you have time, Shiva?
Well, wait a minute. He's not taking questions yet. He's still
no,
talking.
I mean we can take questions. It's fine.
All right. Whenever you're done your point, I'll ask.
I mean, in some respects, I'm much more interested in conversations than I am in declarative statements.
Okay, so are you inviting me to ask right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So earlier I heard you talking about cops having guns in America is a problem, which I kind of agree, but if they take cops' guns away, they're going to have to take civilians' guns away. And the second question or topic I wanted to discuss.
That was dope, Wolfie.
Well, I could answer that first one really quickly. Yep. I wasn't for a moment suggesting that guns should be taken away, just that I wouldn't want to live in the States because all of the police officers carry firearms.
Okay, understood. And my other question was just something that you were just talking about. It was something you were saying. It had me thinking about, like if America had a plot against us, right? And they were just rounding us up like it was like 1930s Germany or something like that. Right. Would the rest of the world really piggyback on each other to help us? Do you think?
No, I don't.
Or do you think it would be like a world thing?
Wow, what a great question.
I think
world thing. That's the only logical conclusion.
Yeah, we'd be fucked. They'd piggyback against us. I think.
I think. I don't know. Because historically, right, First of all, the whole thing of nation states, they're relatively recent, aren't they? Nation states.
Yes, so, yes. It's only been possible recently.
Yeah, it seems the only two nation states around are Russia and the United States, and I think that's why we seem to be the thorn in the ass.
Really? Maybe you should tell China that.
Well, yes, China's got its own thing going, but it's also it has its vested interests in, I would say, the New World Order, for lack of a better term.
I think we're all in bed together, right? The Brits are with the Chinese, because whatever they adopt, we adopt. They react so fast. This shit, everything is already thought out. They're really ahead of the game to me. They are crushing it. The enemy, whoever they are, that unseen hand, they crushing it.
So
this COVID shit got us running like broads. They done took our jobs. They crushing it.
Could you repeat your question, please, Wolfie?
Which one?
I just want to.
About the world. About the world. Right now, we're talking about like the pandemic and this and that, and what the United States is coming to, the way that law enforcement is and authority is over us, right? And like now, don't you think? I mean, my question is the world in line with that sentiment? Don't you think the United States is smart enough to already have some secret meetings with everybody else if they want to do some shit to our country or the world? Or the world just wants to press the button and just restart?
Right, okay, so I suppose it's like if shit kicks off in the States, will the rest of the world help? Is that what you're asking?
Right, is it the rest of the world solution? Would they come together like they're the United Nations and come over and...
I suppose it depends on how bad it gets. isn't it?
I'm talking about like 1930s Germany type of shit, like where they're rounding us up saying we're here for your protection. They put us on trains and
who hasn't
ship
gotten the
this
vaccine, right? Who hasn't gotten their vaccine? You can't come in here. You can't come into the DMV. You can't go grocery shopping until you take
That can't
this
really
little
happen
test
here
at the
because
door.
of the Second Amendment.
Ain't the way that happens though. The chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. They would sneak it up on us. They wouldn't know. By the time we're in that place, it might be a little late.
The masks and shit, they're kind of gradually making us understand. They're treating us like high schoolers. They're like, you have to do this because
no hats in high school.
Well, high school is a government facility.
And then everybody listens at first, but eventually, like, come second market period, people are wearing hats and they're getting away with
if you don't think school was government, then you're fucking out of your damn brain.
It was all conditioning, man. Yeah, conditioning. 6 to 2:30, brother.
Conditioning.
It used to be, I swear, an allegiance to the flag of the U.S. used to definitely be government.
Conditioning. Yo, internal suspension. They walk you to the lunchroom like you're an inmate. Like, all right, now you can get a cold hoagie.
Here's a dirty little secret. I'm going to let the public know because I'm not afraid. I jumped out of high school my senior year.
Me too.
And I started working.
It shows because you're a Trump fan.
I started working when I was 10 years old, and I've been paying taxes longer than, more than half my life. And I remember telling my math teacher about 2 weeks before I dropped out to go fuck himself, and I feel horrible about it to this day. He was a good guy, and he was just trying to do me right and teach me shit that I didn't need to know, but I needed, at that time in my life, to tell him that I wasn't going to be an architect and that I didn't need what he was trying to convey to me, in that if I could just leave school without getting in trouble and him writing me up, he wouldn't be such an asshole. And then I just wanted to go make money. And he cursed me out in front of my class. I got up and I drew a perfect circle, freehand, on his big old whiteboard. And I told him, I said, throw a fucking compass on it, pal. I'm out of here. And he did. And I waited for him. He threw a compass on it like he was really trying to humor me, really trying to lay into me there. And
I don't get it.
Well, the point is from that day forward, I decided that I was gonna be myself and work for.
We were supposed to draw that from perfect circle. Don't stop it.
Work for the independence that I believed that as an American I deserved, and all of my friends deserved, and I felt like instead of being, like cattle and brought through the system of conformity, that people could find their own way given the appropriate knowledge, which would take much less time to give to people in a much more appropriate and effective setting. Like I feel like public school is a failure. I feel like even private school at this point is a failure since the Board of Education kind of took things over. I think it was in the 70s.
It's a failure on purpose, though, right? Like I think
we're at where we're at because we've been conditioned to be here. We're at where we're at because we've been conditioned to be here.
It's a like you said at first though, like you dove a little too deep, but like what you said, like to be submissive to government.
Yeah, I stood up against it. Finally, I said, "Fuck it, it's enough," and I stood up in front of my class and my teacher and said it. Fuck it. I don't.
If you act up, I'm sending you to the principal. That's the man.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sending you to the man.
It even hurt me professionally. I was working two jobs. I was working a kennel at the time, and the guy, my math teacher, went to board his dog and found out I worked at the kennel, and he told my boss he was afraid to leave his dog around me, like I was going to hurt his dog. Like I wasn't
principals couldn't control me. I was a class clown, and when I got to the principals, I'm like, "Yo, come on, Johnson, man, what's wrong with you, man?
It
you
seems
see me all the time, yo.
It seems to be a common theme in society, and especially a part of the fiber, if you will, of the big five in this country: Amazon, Microsoft, Twitter, Google, Facebook, and YouTube. These guys are controlling the flow of information and stifling dissent and making it hard for students of life, if you will, like me, to stand up and be themselves and find within themselves their own creative value to bring to the rest of the world.
I would argue that if you're looking for that experience on those platforms, you are looking in the wrong place.
Well, that's
because the customer of those platforms isn't the user. The user is the product. The customer is the party that pays, which is the advertisers. And what they're buying is the user data.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, yes. This is the eccentric Shiva. This is the most intelligent man on the platform.
No,
or one of the most intelligent.
Please don't mistake the fact that I'm English and articulate for.
Well, you could take a boring subject and make it very interesting just by telling. Anyway, I don't have a specific use for this platform other than educating. Like, I want to help somebody and stop somebody from getting illegally arrested and thrown in prison like I was. That's what this is all about. I want to stop the state from butt fucking the next guy who doesn't even get lipstick or look nice when he's getting rammed in the ass. Like, he's just dry fucked.
Yeah, man.
It's all about protecting somebody, perhaps my friend or even a stranger. No one deserves to go through what I went through. No one should ever go through that. And it's my job. It's my duty as an American, as a descendant of people who have fought in World War I and in World War II and in the Korean War and in the Vietnam War. Like, I come from a military family, and there are people who have died for me to be here and for me to be talking and for me to have this opportunity to say what I'm saying without being completely censored. Despite the censorship I am facing, I still have some sort of voice right now. And I need to be grateful for that and utilize every aspect of that to its maximum potential and try to get people involved to be an activist, to be active, to speak out against tyranny, to speak out against oppression, and to fucking hold the government accountable when it's overstepping the lines, whether it's on the Second Amendment or the First Amendment or whatever it is, whether you're being illegally detained for a false trespass charge, or you're.
Then we're here for very different reasons.
Well, I want to make a difference, and I think I've found the right people to work with to make a difference, and I'm glad to.
I'm here for the sexy accents.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
and the accents make it all the more fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Give it to me, Poppy.
I originally was here to scam bait, and my original channel, which I rather cleverly lost access to just before it became monetized.
You locked yourself out.
Yeah, well, that's what master hackers do, right? That's
well, when you make passwords like we do, yes, it happens.
I need to do a live stream myself on the auditing rules and the rules of everything, because I think they're all ridiculous.
I know, right?
Well, I mean, that's kind of morphed over the years to just wanting to hang out. Shits and giggles,
the auditing rules. What do you guys think about that?
What does that mean?
I think that
Shiva too.
Gotta have room for everyone's different style. Even if you don't appreciate it at the time, you gotta have room for everybody's own style. The thought of that's Nazism. The thought that everybody got to behave the same way.
Like, you shouldn't even talk to them. Well, you know what? I wanted to talk to them because I figured this guy's a goofy motherfucker. He might say something stupid to me on camera. Like, why shouldn't I disengage with him a little bit? I know when to back out.
Get experience, man. That's how you get experience.
No, I just want to talk to the people. I want them to show their personality because
you guys want to hear the rules of auditing?
Philadelphia, they don't talk to you. They don't talk to you. In Philadelphia, they start seeing.
I want to hear the rules of auditing.
I'd like to get back to what John Felix said in regard to you were on censorship. I can't remember what the context.
Here's a one rule of auditing: try not to get arrested.
You mentioned Ron Paul, and at the time you mentioned Ron Paul, in your very first expressions, I immediately thought of Ron Paul. So I was already pulling information up on him to try to throw up on the screen to keep ahead of you. And you were just too fast. But
I'm too strong, man.
Well, you're
amazing. Muy fuerte.
You're an amazing patriot and
Muy
an American. You're an example, and we need fucking millions more of you. I'll tell you.
No smoked almonds are safe around us.
What's the line between patriotism and jingoism?
Patriotism and what?
Jingoism.
I don't know what jingoism is.
Yeah, neither do I.
Is that something you do during Christmas?
I define it as being extreme patriotism, but let's see what Google is saying.
So what's the difference between
a patriot to me isn't necessarily someone who blows up a bridge to stop the government from doing something that violates our rights. A patriot to me is someone who creates an avenue for the people to seek recourse and redress against their government should it overstep its bounds.
Say that again, Tyrant. Is not someone who blows up a bridge. All right, I think I heard you. Go ahead, Shiva.
Jingoism, according to Wikipedia, is the nationalism in the form of aggressive and proactive foreign policy, such as a country's advocacy for the use of threats or actual force, as opposed to peaceful relations in efforts to safeguard.
That's not American.
It sounds like us to me.
That's not American.
Okay, sorry. Oh, wait. I mean, if you like, I can look it up in my shorter Oxford English dictionary. I like books.
Yeah, right on. I love your...
So I suppose I kind of define... I mean, I tend to define it as extreme patriotism, but this seems to be extreme and patriotism with regards to aggressive or warlike foreign policies.
Now, do you think that the word patriotism or nationalism or nationalist or patriot are often associated out of context with rather extreme sort of definitions put into terms in under words like you're describing?
I think it's purposely done.
Yeah, it's the government trying to misconstrued and kind of take out of context. It's a means to stifle dissent. You can take an honest, heartfelt, heart-driven, nonviolent American and hold them in Guantanamo Bay indefinitely in detention because the definition of patriot deems them a threat to national security. Do you think that's a fair argument or something plausible to suggest?
I'm waiting for them to put cats like us on a list. It'll probably be domestic terrorists or some shit like that. Gang members, domestic terrorists. I think they're going to expand. They might call it by a different name, but they'll find a way to label us so they can hurt us.
So Joe Cool would agree that our language is being perverted. I'm on board with that. So there's two. Big Sexy, where you at, my brother?
Go ahead.
Would you say that our language is being perverted and we're being mislabeled and deemed out of context something we're not?
Can I talk? Can I answer this?
Well, that was for John Felix.
Yes, you can ask.
And you too.
Tyrant, you gotta let the conversation flow. You're kind of rigid. Relax a little bit. There's a natural ebb and flow to conversation. Find it, baby. Wolfie was giving you. Yes, I have an answer. That's a rare thing.
Well, have at it, my brother.
Nobody
I was
shit.
talking to John. I didn't want to overstep him. It looked like he was chewing some food or something.
Yes, and I wouldn't have said that unless I've been holding it in a long time. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry to upset you this evening, Joe. I'm
not upset.
Man.
When I talk like this, stop it. I'm okay being upset. You ain't gotta. I'm okay. I'm even comfortable over there.
I'm a sensitive man, my friend.
I'm upset now. I just ran out of almonds.
I'm just okay. I didn't mean to be angry at you when I say it. People say that I make my point in anger. I do mean though that it seems, and I'm a connoisseur of conversation. I'm a connoisseur of these panels, and you have the great niggas up here, and there could be a natural ebb and flow that hasn't occurred because when it goes in a certain direction, I think you're attributed to stifling it, and I'm making way too big a deal about it. But I've had the thought 18 times since I got here.
So what was the question, man, for Wolfie and I?
Wolfie, you had an answer. No way you remember even the question now, right?
I can't now because
you remember? Tyrant.
This is the natural ebb and flow, baby. Everybody,
just hold on 1 second. So, what were we talking about before all that?
Oh, you're good if you're gonna find it. I'm a high. I wouldn't even attempt, but
I can't find it. I'm just digging through a
Ron Paul.
You went back that fucking far.
That's too far.
Let's move on.
It's just about the community.
You're right. It was a context about community. I can't remember the specific
okay. What I was going to say was that the Anti-Defamation League and the Southern Poverty Law Center are the ones that push that nationalist equals racist equals hates others narrative. Nationalist is basically a constitutionalist like me who believes in their country and doesn't believe that our tax money should go to foreign entanglements, because once you get involved in other people's business, then their dad gets called, and then their dad calls their uncle from the gym. It's just like a neighborhood. You don't get involved in foreign entanglements. You protect your own borders, and that's what a nationalist is. It's not a negative term.
Well, nationalist does sound like some negative shit to me, bro.
But it's not. The question to you is someone who honors their country.
The question, I remember,
the detriment of other countries.
The question to Mr. Felix and Wolfie, gladly, is: do you think that the language is perverted and being kind of, misconstrued to be used against us to stifle our dissent?
Yeah. All right. So this is what I had to say, because I remembered it. We both remembered it kind of around the same time, I think. So, yeah, you were saying, do you think like everything that's going on, people are looking at as bad and shit like that? That's how I took it. So what I'm thinking is this whole shit with this Antifa and the Black Lives Matter movement and the rioting and the politically charged things that are happening is going to make us look bad, because I've already been out recording and people are like, who are you, Antifa? And I'm like, nah, this is two with a camera, right? Like, what the hell is going on? Right? Because they see it in the news, yo, and it's getting crazy. And it's like, yo, I've been doing this for 2 years, yo. Antifa just be made the scene again. Like, they came back.
They propagate that shit, though. They make us scared with whatever, the media, whatever. They keep us in that so fucking scared sheep ass state. And that would go to the control of the media that we were talking about earlier. I heard that 2 people control 95% of media outlets. That would be fucking. If I wasn't high, I could remember. I could tell you both.
You don't know who controls it. That's the whole problem. We don't know.
A small group of
Murdoch,
people.
I think his name is something like that. Is one of them, and whoever the other. If I wouldn't blow it, I could have told you immediately.
Yeah, they all branch off each other from some center.
That's real power. That's power.
Shiva, do you think the word nationalist is a negative term?
Yes.
Right.
So
that's why I asked the question.
I think civilian is a negative term.
I think, all right. So I think we have to agree that it's a modern term, in the same way that nation states are a relatively modern phenomenon. Now, if you look at what nationalism is, it seems to me that it's nothing more than tribalism on a larger scale.
Agreed.
And so on that basis, yes, I think it's unhelpful.
Unhealthy for
what
who?
About this, John? I bet you this type of person. Hold on, John.
Sorry. No, just wait a second. Wait a second.
Nah, get yourself out, Shiva.
Unhelpful, not unhealthy. I was just clarifying because John didn't hear what I said, and I want to make sure that
unhelpful.
Yes.
Okay.
Unhelpful
to other nations.
Counterproductive.
To everyone. Including
not to the nation.
Yeah, I think it is, because it makes them insular.
It is a double-edged sword.
The thing is, you can still have you can still be a nationalist and have friendly relations with other countries and not be an isolationist. But
John,
getting involved in foreign wars is the worst thing we could ever do.
All right, John, let me ask you. You believe in that you're a free man shit as well, right?
What do you mean?
You're a free man. You have all these natural rights. I think I've heard you spoke about it. I'm curious, do you believe that this world belongs to you or just to USA? Is this world yours? You should be able to travel this world under God or whoever you believe in, because it's meant for all men. If some tribal motherfucker in Spain say you can't go there, suddenly that gets cut off. Don't you believe you should be able to go to Spain?
Should I be able to?
Yes, under God, you should be able to go where the fuck you want.
Let me answer. In a perfect world, absolutely, but that's not reality. Reality is there's so many different ideologies, religions, and they all have weapons to back it up. So we have to protect our country, bro. I'm sorry. And if it means I can't go to Spain, I'm going to stay in Florida.
It means the terrorists win. 9/11, you know, trick on everybody, tell on everybody. It means the terrorists win.
Joe Cool.
Yeah.
Heart to
I
heart,
don't
my
buy
man.
into
Yo,
9/11 either.
my man, I mean this from my heart to you. I really believe that, how do I put it without getting myself in trouble? I think you,
Go ahead,
I think you need to know more history than you do. Because with the history,
there's no way you say that without getting in trouble.
Right. I tried to put it as
be specific.
Well, hang on, Joe Cool.
American history. It's like civil rights oriented. Instead of focusing on the cherry pick stuff that you're really well versed in, I think you need to diversify your portfolio a little bit so that you can be more broad in your perspective.
All right. You should probably know why.
It would help you in conversation like this, I think. You would excel.
I just want you to know that I think I'm well versed in history. Not only did I have the academic, all perfect 100 scores and went to college on an academic scholarship, mostly because of history.
All right.
But I've also studied a ton of it on my own, reading biographies, autobiographies.
So what history you contesting then?
Well, I didn't mean to disparage you or put you on the defense. I just meant
I'm not being defensive. I'm saying I'm at least as smart as you are.
I know that. You're my equal. You know, I treat everyone here as my equal. I'm
not treated. I am saying I'm at least your equal.
Yeah, you know.
Well, but Joe, are you claiming that?
Let me change the subject.
I was digging the subject, but go.
Look, what do you guys think about the word civilian?
I hate it.
I think it's often
as opposed to
people use civilian instead of citizen.
Right.
They're wrong. They're saying that wrong. Right. It's like they're saying nationalist wrong.
What's the difference, guys? What's the difference? Civilian and citizen. What's the difference?
It's the meaning. It's the meaning.
Doesn't matter.
No, I mean, okay. What about denizen?
If a police officer called me, "Hey, step back, civilian," it would, to me, it would be like saying, "Step back."
It's military.
Police officers are also
as opposed
citizens.
To citizen,
or which is somebody,
as opposed to resident, sir. Or anything
a citizen,
respectful.
Trooper.
A citizen
is not
citizen.
Okay.
I like citizen.
Civilian.
I just don't like the word. I said it to a commenter.
Right, I understand.
He said it the wrong way, and I corrected him. And I was like, I think that's the meaning. I don't like that word.
Can we all agree that there is a problem with the language that we are confined to using right now?
I want to hear what Shiva was going to say.
The word citizen means somebody who lives in a city, as opposed to a denizen, who is somebody who lives in a rural area.
But what the difference is between citizen and civilian is police are citizens just like we are. They're not military. And we're not civilian.
Now it's become a different meaning. Now it means military versus non-military.
Doesn't matter what your occupation or official status is, you're still an American citizen.
It doesn't even matter if you're in a war-stricken area. You shouldn't refer to innocent citizens as civilians that are just around where you're trying to fucking bomb.
Isn't the word civilian related to the word civilization?
Let me in here.
civilians. I hate that shit, yo. That shit makes I've
the
had
only people-
veterans call me civilian. Like I'm lesser than them because
John
they
Felix, you have the floor, my
went
friend.
to Akawanaji
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever.
It's like you're less than them.
The only people that should use the term civilian are military personnel.
And
to refer
police,
to civilians.
Say it to
I
people
think
that are
he's saying
here.
when police uses it, pisses him off.
That's
Right.
right, because police are not military, and it's illegal for the military to enforce laws on American soil. Posse Comitatus Act. So they're not military, and we're not civilians.
Bush 43 put an end to that.
Isn't
if you came back,
isn't this ignoring something very fundamental about language, which is that it changes and evolves over time?
No, that's
that
exactly
words,
where I was going with it. These words have new definitions now.
Words, the meanings of words
except
change.
the new definitions aren't listed as new.
Right. Listen,
Fuck how they're listed. We know in our head. I wouldn't go to Webster and listen to that motherfucker over what we know. Webster follows us, right? We determine what the fuck Webster puts in the book. What's in our head, our definition of civilian.
Listen, the people are losing. The people are losing because the language we're confined to using, which we know very little of, is used against us and constantly changing.
What do you mean by confined?
It's being redefined to a degree. People are being re-educated. The words that I knew to mean one thing in my time of school mean something totally different today, dictated by social standards and
like
things of
the
that
term
nature.
organic.
Right.
So
now,
but hang on.
What
right,
that leads to is a loss
okay.
for the people. I'm sorry, but it leads to a loss for the people in the sense that they don't have any chance of winning an argument in which they have no control over the language being used. So they're automatically at a loss.
Right, so there's quite a lot to unpack there. Right, so let's start with the presupposition that language is confined. When you say people's language use is confined, well, it's confined by them.
No, it's confined by the restraints that are constantly evolving beyond their knowledge. See, people who have already graduated college and have gotten degrees in education are having to re-educate themselves to get acclimated with their own children currently in the education system.
That's
right. Yes, and it's right. So yes, but that's because languages evolve naturally. Now, there's a good example of a language not evolving at all, and that's Canadian French, right? And Canadian French is actually similar to European French that was spoken about 200 years ago. The reason being that when the French went over to Canada, they wanted to maintain their cultural identity, and one of the ways that you do that is by fixing the language in place, right? This is our culture, like so.
So what happens?
You're not arguing that languages don't change. You're not arguing that
languages, right?
Languages change.
Now, as Joe Cool, no. When kids in the street start changing words to mean the opposite of what they say in the dictionary, they're not doing it for political agendas.
Yes, but that is when it changes. Then that's when a dictionary follows and said chill no longer means just cold outside.
Yes.
It means hip, cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a separate dictionary for that, if you will. You know what I mean? Webster's not making a dictionary on PHAT fat, so to speak. Like
but they will. The Oxford English Dictionary, which is updated every couple of years or whatever, they add new words based on what people are saying.
Right.
In the UK, so slang words that were in use in popular culture but weren't in the dictionary were added to the dictionary based on the fact that people were saying them.
Yes.
Dictionaries are descriptive, not prescriptive. And if you assume they're prescriptive, then yes, you are confining your own language use.
Right, which is I have a problem with. Yeah.
Social engineering and political agenda is a very real thing in the United States right now. And it's a big part of our media right now. Image and sound and repetitive messages are what shape the opinions of the American people right now, and that is
Yes,
a
in
very serious
snippets.
problem.
You know what I'm saying?
It
In
makes me
snippets. We
sick
can't.
to have Tyrant Slayer Studios to use images and sounds and things to get people to come and talk to one another and try to figure out what the hell is going on and what we're going to do about it. You know, but that's what we have to do, and I feel like it's a result of the confines of what the state, through its so-called Board of Education, deems appropriate, you know, and deems, they're putting things into children's heads before they're even at the age of understanding that are very complex and involve, I mean, if you talk to a good psychologist who's going to be honest and not a part of the system, if you will, he's going to tell you, don't fucking put your kid in the public education system. Like
Everybody would tell anybody should tell you that.
Well, there's a problem with the language, and there's a problem with the flow of information in the states.
The problem is it's been hijacked by those people, and they got it the way they want it. The schools are very effective. They are supposed to teach drones. The police are very effective. They are overseers, not officers.
On the streets, a teenager says, I smoke weed because it helps me sleep, and it helps me feel better, and it helps me eat. And in the institutions, they say, well, that's self-medicating. That's self-medicating. You have a very serious problem. And everything is defined in a totally different light. It's like there's a totally different dictionary for officials.
Right. You can no longer self-medicate like back in the day. You hurt yourself in the woods. You go get a plant, you fix, you heal yourself.
Twisted and perverted, and that's what I mean. Like, the people are always at a loss because the language and the flow of information is always being controlled and evolving within a 24-hour news cycle. The memory of the average
So what is
American,
your point, Tyrant? Okay. Are you saying it's so fast we'll never be able to speak it?
I'm saying that even here and now in this discussion, we've been kind of derailed from, I think, what the focus, what I was trying to achieve was. I was trying to create a connection and get what everybody felt about the
All right,
country.
So did you just change the subject?
No, you're asking
we were talking about the different, the languages.
I feel like the language that we're confined in overall is, I mean, each one of us, none of us are ever on the same page.
Language is too fast. What do we do? Is there a solution, or are you saying we're doomed? We just can't keep up.
Well, there is a solution. We have to just talk to each other more and figure out what the language is so that we can use it with each other. Like, you're going to know part of the language that I don't, if you will.
It won't surprise you to learn that I disagree fundamentally.
No, but I'd like to hear what you have to say as far as the language being perverted in America and controlled to kind of dictate the narrative that constrains
just let him say what he wanted to say. Instead of asking, he already had something he wanted to say.
I sort of think that's all largely a red herring, right? The thing that determines whether people are going to be blind sheep isn't necessarily the media they consume, but the awareness that they bring to it. And that seems to be a much more fundamental problem.
It isn't the media, it's the awareness
that they bring to their consumption of the media, yes. So, and that seems to be a much more fundamental problem, right?
People even don't if really censorship is involved?
Censorship has been involved in American media since its inception. So the boards of standards and practices have been censoring. Like American media companies have been censoring themselves since their inception because they want the money, right? And advertisers don't like controversial topics. So that's why American network stations have standards and practices.
FCC and
are you aware of Operation Mockingbird or the National Defense Authorization Act?
Operation Mockingbird rings a bell. The second one, no. My knowledge of American censorship is sketchy and is based largely on my
what about
on
net
research.
Neutrality?
I'm aware of net neutrality, yeah. But like I say, all of this.
Did you ever take a bullet to the chest?
No, but all of what you're talking about, net neutrality and all that stuff. Again, I think that's secondary, right?
It's not though. It's primary in the sense that if you're not aware of it, it's going to be aware of you.
Exactly. If you are not aware of it, the issue is awareness.
Correct.
And that starts on an individual basis.
Yeah, you got me. Bang.
And it starts not with an awareness of the world, but an awareness of oneself. You can't really be aware of the world until you're kind of developing an awareness of your own thoughts and emotional states and why you do what you do, or why one does what one does, not you.
But when you say that Americans have a universal sense of what that is as Americans inherently, that just kind of comes part of it.
I would say that's nonsense.
Yes, nonsense. Do you think that Americans in the United States of America are not contracted with the World Organization, right? Do you not think that we're all kind of interknitted together or not, right? So when you think about the World Bank and the World Health Organization, the United States, NATO, this, that, the other shit, dude, we're all knitted together like the COVID shit. You could say, oh, our government's trying to fuck us. No, it's the world, and it's a bigger thing than you could ever fucking imagine. Is what they're trying to do.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, this shit's fucking crazy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because it's happening everywhere.
Relevant to language and the control of information. This was our 2012 presidential election that no one ever talks about.
I don't even care about the election. I'm not even talking about the election. I'm talking about the COVID shit. That shit's fucking wild to me. To me, it's like, relative. Hey, a couple people die here and there from it.
Yeah, about that COVID. Oh, I'm sorry, you playing a video?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, bitch.
Yeah, about that COVID shit. What stance do y'all take? Should a motherfucker be forced to do, or even should the government have the power to force a motherfucker to do things like wear masks, stay indoors?
Look, I don't agree with the mask shit, but I wear in a little store. If I know I'm gonna be like as quick as I can. I don't want the little confrontations. I'm not recording or nothing. It's a private business and shit. I just want to get food and not be rejected food for not having a mask. Now that pisses me off. That pisses me off.
They're training you so you had that chip.
It pisses me off. It pisses me off.
Put on a mask,
you don't get food without your chip. They're training you.
I ain't chipping, bro. No, it pisses me off.
I'm telling you, they're training you for the chip.
I go in there and keep contesting it, but I know I'll get beat down every time.
But they know they're training us so that we're willing to do a thing.
I ain't no different than George Floyd or nobody. They'll fucking put their fucking knee all up on my shit as soon as they could.
I want to show you guys an interesting video relevant to the control of information and the language that we use and how it actually can affect national elections, local elections, and our day-to-day life, whether it's through machines or whatever the fucking process is, through direct media relations, shit can happen. And it's relevant because the American public right now is in disarray, and I think we're more divided than we've ever been in my lifetime. I think we're worse off than we were before the civil rights movement of the 60s, and it's not because we're fucked up with each other. It's because the state is fucking us all up. And I just
white racists.
Try to find a way. It's not racism, man. It's not.
It was a joke. Don't let me divert you.
Joe knows it's a joke. Yeah, everybody's
hear
racist.
That video?
Every color, creed, everybody got some shit to say about somebody else. Whether you're gay and hate straight people or straight and hate gay people.
I'm certainly guilty of prejudice. I
mean, people are brought up into it. Like, you can't tell me, Joe Cole, when you grew up that people said, "Don't trust that white man now."
Oh, I didn't trade. Said everyone was.
That's some devil, racist shit, yo. Everybody grows up into some racist shit, dude. It's real, yo. I'm not trying to shame anybody. It happens, yo, in every color, yo. It's crazy.
Some motherfuckers don't get out of it. I still got black motherfuckers that think white motherfuckers can't go to heaven. You know, white motherfuckers at our age still believe that shit, bro.
You know, if you guys can hear this audio here.
Who knows? Who knows if heaven's real?
I mean,
this sandwich came from heaven.
I also believe that white people can't get into places that don't exist, Joe.
I love a faith and shit, yo. I have faith in the Lord, yo. Whatever I think the Lord is. The Lord likes my jokes. The Lord's like cool as fuck. The Lord's having a beer with me and shit. He's like, whatever, I'll forgive you, bro.
He's incredible.
But as long as I'm a good person, I feel like I'll be all right. But you know, I could just die and just see black the rest of my life. I don't fucking know. Like just see darkness.
I'm working on a new album called God Calls Me Bro.
God calls me bro. Yeah, there you go. See, I sparked an idea right there. God calls me bro, and he says, look, I'm not mad about your titty joke. Yo, that shit was pretty funny, yo. She does have nice titties.
Ooh. What?
No, just a random shit.
Yeah, he's scared the shit out. I'm like,
damn, I wasn't talking about your wife. I mean, shit, guilty conscience.
Hey, no, my wife's got some nice titties. Just hoping you weren't looking at them.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, damn, you said nice titties. Where's my wife at?
Tyrant Slayer's giving up on life, I think.
Nah, I'm here.
You there, bro?
I'm just letting the people have at it.
Good, man.
He killed his energy, man. He was going crazy.
Dude,
talking.
You need one of them control panels like the dude on Around the Horn.
Yeah, I had like a software set up. I was all excited. I was kind of let down from the get-go just by the software. Shit. I'm fucking up here.
What software?
I know you would have muted me about 3 times.
What software?
I wish you would have said more.
What software?
What are you eating there, my man? What is that? What do you got going on there?
This is a perfectly toasted ciabatta bread.
Oh.
Mayo, turkey,
had me at
tomato, and mild banana pepper rings.
Oh, my God.
Damn, it certainly sounds fabulous.
Damn, girl, what are you going upstairs to make?
Here, have a bite. Take a bite.
Right?
He got it from Wawa.
Yeah, right, bro. Don't you fucking insult me like that. Wawa. That's damn Canadian for goose or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up a video here.
What state are you in, Tyrant?
I'm in Connecticut, my man.
And
Wolfie,
you're in Jersey, right?
Socialist racketeering in any state of Connecticut.
Wolfie, where you at?
I'm in Jersey, right next to Philly here.
And Joe's in Illinois, right?
Yeah,
I'm on the river.
Yeah.
I'm a river rat.
A river rat.
Can a country boy become a city boy, and can a city boy become a country boy, or do they state that?
You can become a hybrid.
Oh no, I'm a Philly guy. I have a place over there too, Queen Village, but right here I'm in New Jersey.
I hear people tell me, country guys be like, I just can't do the city, and I hear city folks to be like, I could just not do the country. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I think that's all learned
It's
behavior.
weird. You know what's funny? The south part of New Jersey is pretty much like Alabama. Like it's
wow,
like
no fucking way.
Yeah.
The north part has something like that. You're educating me.
That's where I got arrested at, right? I told Southeastern PA, I said we're going into Alabama, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? It could be trouble. We got arrested down there, right? So like down there is livestock and farms and shit, but like upstate,
you're kidding me.
More congested as you go upstate. Yeah.
Can you guys hear this video if I play this? Hang on here.
Let's see.
Yeah,
no sound.
All right, that's fucked up.
There's a share sound button on there that I always hear people talk about. I have no idea where it is, but they say, did you remember to share the sound? So I could have act like I knew what I was talking about and asked you, hey, did you remember to share the sound? But I don't really know what that shit means.
My leave my leave button now, it says abort.
All right, let's see if this works.
All right.
Let's see.
What if conservatives who preach small government wake up and realize that our interventionist foreign policy provides the greatest incentive to expand the government? What if...
All right, so I think this is relevant because this guy was isolated out of the presidency in 2012 just based on the flow of information and the perversion of language, which is printed in papers, broadcasted on national television and local television networks across TVs everywhere, man. And it's not really too different from North Korea or like Wolfie Gladley was saying, 1930s Germany, and that, like, you know, what's coming over the radio waves and shit, like, you know, what's coming over the wires, just in, we've got a reporter over the wires. Yeah, so this video is kind of riveting. I was very touched by it, and I was a huge Ron Paul supporter. I saw this shit coming a long time ago, and then I wish we had done something in 2012
Madam Speaker, I have a few questions for my colleagues.
Go full screen.
What if our foreign policy of the past century is deeply flawed and has not served our national security interests? What if we wake up one day and realize that the terrorist threat is a predictable consequence of our meddling in the affairs of others and has nothing to do with us being free and prosperous? What if propping up repressive regimes in the Middle East endangers both the United States and Israel? What if occupying countries like Iraq and Afghanistan and bombing Pakistan is directly related to the hatred directed toward us? What if someday it dawns on us that losing over 5,000 American military personnel in the Middle East since 9/11 is not a fair trade-off for the loss of nearly 3,000 American citizens, no matter how many Iraqi, Pakistani, and Afghan people are killed or displaced? What if we finally decide that torture, even if called enhanced interrogation technique, is self-destructive and produces no useful information, and that contracting it out to a third world nation is just as evil? What if it is finally realized that war and military spending is always destructive to the economy? What if all wartime spending is paid for through the deceitful and evil process of inflating and borrowing? What if we finally see that wartime conditions always undermine personal liberty? What if conservatives who preach small government wake up and realize that our interventionist foreign policy provides the greatest incentive to expand the government? What if conservatives understood once again that their only logical position is to reject military intervention and managing an empire throughout the world? What if the American people woke up and understood that the official reasons for going to war are almost always based on lies and promoted by war propaganda in order to serve special interests? What if we as a nation came to realize that the quest for empire eventually destroys all great nations? What if Obama has no intention of leaving Iraq? What if a military draft is being planned for the wars that will spread if our foreign policy is not changed? What if the American people learn the truth, that our foreign policy has nothing to do with national security, that it never changes from one administration to the next? What if war and preparation for war is a racket serving the special interests? What if President Obama is completely wrong about Afghanistan and turns out worse than Iraq and Vietnam put together? What if Christianity actually teaches peace and not preventive wars of aggression? What if diplomacy is found to be superior to bombs and bribes in protecting America? What happens if my concerns are completely unfounded? Nothing. But what happens if my concerns are justified and ignored? Nothing good. And I yield back the balance of my time.
Then we're all fucked. If he's right.
Killed that and put the music behind it.
Joe, what do you think of that?
I think he killed it.
Oh, wait. This is even longer, ain't it?
40,000 new laws passed. I'd like to be the first president to repeal 40,000 laws.
You having a flashback or something?
Me? The thing was, Ron Paul was destroying everybody. He was getting the most turnout. People were insane about him, and they pretended like he didn't even exist in the media.
Congressman, doctor, presidential candidate and champion of freedom, Ron Paul.
Now that election was rigged by the media.
The football stadium seats about 80,000 people. Only problem, Romney had about 1,000 people in the crowd, making the event look like a total flop.
I guess we had a hard time finding a large enough place to meet, and this certainly is.
It's like Biden's rallies.
Romney's campaign couldn't even fill all the chairs in the audience.
Ron Paul appeared before an enthusiastic crowd, and many in the crowd were young.
That he is the only one who can win against Barack Obama. He's the only one with appeal to the moderates and independents. Right. He's the only one widely supported by our troops. And he's the only one with the army of young supporters needed to win.
The thought that the Iranians could pose an imminent attack on the United States is preposterous. There's no way. This is just this is just war propaganda. Continued war propaganda, preparing this nation to go to war and spread this war not only in Iraq but into Iran unconstitutionally. It is a road to disaster for us as a nation. It's a road to our financial disaster if we don't read the Constitution once in a while.
Around the horn, Congressman.
A new CNN poll out today shows the Texas congressman in a statistical tie with President Obama if they were to face off in the general election today. Now, this is pretty amazing. It comes after Paul finished a strong second in New Hampshire last week.
Ron Paul, not going anywhere. Ideologically pure and tough as nails.
You know, some Republicans out there have been saying that Ron Paul would be very dangerous for this country because he wants to bring troops like you back from your post from all over the world.
Well, I think it would be even more dangerous to start nitpicking wars with other countries. Someone like Iran, Israel is more than capable.
Whoa! All right, we just lost our tech connection, unfortunately. With Dennis, if you can hear me, we're going to get back. You want to go to Kenny Crowley over at Mitt Romney headquarters. People are beginning to fill up that room over there, Kenny.
I mean, if you look, somebody told me, you know, from this last debate, I thought I did rather well. And they went down the number of times they mentioned the other three candidates in the review of the debate. And it was, you know, like 80, 90 times, depending on which it was. I was mentioned one time in all the discussion of the debate after it was over. Now, you might argue I didn't win, or some people argue that I did.
Neil,
but it's been more than one mention on all the stations. Somebody went and added these all up.
Thank you,
so what's going on here? You're in this media business. I'd like to know exactly how that comes about.
I had a printout of how many hours.
So now with Peloni dropping out, Rick Perry dropping in, and Michelle Bachmann and Ron Paul dominating the Ames straw poll, we got ourselves a race. We have a top tier. It is Mitt Romney, Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann.
We have a new top tier, and it's Perry, Mitt Romney, and Bachmann.
There's now a top tier in this race, at least for now, of Romney, Perry, and Bachmann.
I mean, I think that's fair to say. Really fair to say? You're not forgetting anyone, say, an ideologically consistent 12-term congressman who came within less than 200 votes of winning a straw poll. Isn't anyone going to give that gentleman a little love?
There's a top tier now of Bachmann and Perry and Romney, and, you know, we haven't mentioned, and we should,
thank you. We
haven't mentioned, and we should, Rick Santorum, who did really surprisingly well for the amount of money and resources he had.
And by the way, this pretending Ron Paul doesn't exist for some reason has been going on for weeks.
A new Gallup survey showing Rick Perry running second to Mitt Romney, knocking down Iowa favorite Michelle Bachmann to fourth.
Behind who? Fourth behind who?
Jon Stewart.
How did libertarian Ron Paul become the 13th floor in a hotel? Why? What's wrong with? He is Tea Party patient zero. All that small government grassroots business, he planted that grass. These other folks, they're just moral majorities in a tri-cornered hat.
Frauds.
Ron Paul's the real deal. And Fox News should love this guy.
No one even knows his
And
name.
even when the media does remember Ron Paul, it's only to reassure themselves how there's no need to remember Ron Paul.
Right now, right next to the bus behind us, Ron Paul is speaking, and 7 of the candidates are here today. We have live pictures of Ron Paul, but you know what? We're talking about Sarah Palin, we're talking about Rick Perry, the two people not in the race yet, Drew.
And guess what, Paul? If you get video of Sarah Palin or get a soundbite from her, bring that back to us. You can hold the Ron Paul stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's some real shit.
Brutal.
Yo, that's what the news
let's look at the
does.
numbers. Here are the favorable
And
and
that
unfavorable
was
right
years
now
ago.
on
They're
Republican
good at it.
front runners.
Yeah, but
Gingrich,
they're even better now.
63%
Check this out.
unfavorable.
They did it during this whole
25%
election.
favorable.
This
Look
is
at
why
that
it goes on
spread.
for a year.
Romney, 54% unfavorable, 34
Year of
favorable, a
conditioning.
20-point spread there. Santorum, he's relatively okay. 38% unfavorable, 32% favorable. He at least, well, he doesn't have a positive, but he doesn't have a bad negative.
That's pre-kitchen sink.
Oh.
This shit pisses me off so bad.
Yeah.
This is when you want to
deal.
become a sniper.
This is the America we're living in.
This is
our country.
Move on. Let's take another question, Congressman. I'll bring in on this one. Let's take a question now from social media. Question. Before we move on,
Joe
you want in
Cool.
this issue? They want you in on this issue. Would you like in on this issue?
Media won't want to hear you, man.
But John, once again, it's a medical subject, and I'm a doctor, you know.
Look at the look of contempt.
Yes. How dare you?
Get out of here with your freedom. We don't need none of that around here.
I mean, you've been answering a lot of questions lately about the newsletters that were published under your name, and some of the things contained in them were conspiracy theories. Some of them are considered racist, and you've disavowed them.
What the fuck?
Completely. But they were called the Ron Paul Report. And did you read them at all when they were published during those years? Did you ever sort of take a look at it and say, you know what, this isn't what I stand for?
Not all the time.
But you did read them.
Not all the time.
Well,
on occasion, yes.
And did you ever object when you read them?
Well, you know, we talked about this twice yesterday at CNN. Why don't you go back and look at what I said yesterday on CNN and what I've said for 20-some years? Is 22 years ago. I didn't write them. I disavow them. That's it. I never read that stuff. I've never read it. I was probably aware of it 10 years after it was written. And it's been going on 20 years that people have pestered me about this, and CNN does it every single time. So when are you going to wear yourself out?
When you say it's no, but
when are you going to do that?
Is it legitimate? I mean, is it a legitimate question to ask that something went out
and when
under
you get
your name?
And when you get the answer, it's legitimate that you sort of take the answers I give. You know what? The answer is
conducts himself just
I
like we do.
didn't write them. I didn't read them at the time, and I disavow them. That is the answer.
Well, it's just a question. I mean, it's legitimate. It's legitimate.
Fuck you,
these things are
cunt.
pretty
That was my
incendiary.
man.
You know,
This was the man I
people
cried
like
for.
you.
No,
Gloria
no,
Forger.
come on. Some of the stuff was very incendiary, and saying that in 1993 the Israelis were responsible for the bombing of the World Trade Center.
It gets worse.
You mean the FBI? Who funded the whole thing in '93?
Answering the questions, and you understand it's our job.
That would have killed them alone. You don't fuck with Israel, they just tear you apart.
Look at this
Look
poll.
at this.
Loser on top, winner on the bottom. CNN.
Imagery,
Damn.
psychological imagery.
Lee
They put
Ron Paul on that one
Obama
all
in
the
the
way.
pictures. at
The
one
winner.
point. Yeah, look at this shit. It's
Oops.
fucking sad, man. This is our country, you guys.
This is fucking infuriating. I've probably seen this video 20 times too.
The media doesn't believe that Ron Paul has a hoot and hell's chance of winning the Iowa caucuses, winning the Republican nomination, or winning the presidency. So we're going to ignore it.
Jesus Christ. It's right in your fucking face. And that was at least 8 years ago.
You got senators putting disinformation like this shit on their Facebook now, and it's totally out of control. This is what the National Defense Authorization Act made legal. It basically legalized Operation Mockingbird and it reinstated these old CIA policies. It's legal to publish, print this.
Huntsman.
They just killed, dude.
This is why I can't turn the TV on without getting infuriated.
Zuckerberg does the same shit on his platform. Twitter's doing it. Google's doing it. Facebook's is
Come on, shoot.
It's definitely certain people.
Come on.
They take people's
All right, man. How long is this damn video? We get the gist of it. They fucked him right in his ass.
Royally.
Right in his old white ass.
Yes, they made that.
Canceled it was a Mitt Romney supporter, and the snow.
The numbers that the state GOP
There was
and
like
are
real
reporting
election fraud.
are according
Here's
to
my,
caucus
here's my
chairman,
favorite journalist right here.
incorrect.
Kennebec County did vote as they were supposed to last week, but their vote total, as you see here, shows up as a 0 in the Republican Party's official results. Washington County postponed their caucuses on Saturday because of a snowstorm they expected to hit the area.
There's a lot more than what you said. The man who canceled it was a Mitt Romney supporter, and the snowstorm he predicted didn't happen.
Then there's Waldo County. Even though nearly all Waldo County towns held caucuses on February 4th, here's how most of Waldo County's votes look in the official Republican Party's results list. 0.
Wonderful. Anyway, we face this shit every day, and I think we need to get a handle on our language.
Okay.
So that we can get a handle on our narrative. And
you're not talking about cussing, are you?
No, but
No, I think
if we're going to get into a
technology
grievance,
or
if we're going to get into a discussion or express our grievances with our government, we're going to have to be able to use a language that serves us rather than works against us.
Now, when you first started talking about language, that's what I thought you guys were talking about, the language that the law, the courts use versus the language that we use. And if we're going to survive in there, we got to learn their language. That's what I thought y'all was talking about.
Well, yeah, that's essential too. That's a great point. That's essentially what I'm doing right now. I've been self-representing in my child custody case, trying to take my daughter away from her mother. And it's been a nightmare for me, man.
McClinnis went through the same thing. That's why he's running for sheriff.
I've got gray hairs on my face more and more every day from this shit, man. I've never been under more stress in my entire life. But it ain't a pity party. I'm just saying that's some real fucking shit. That's some real shit, man. And everybody needs to be prepared for what can really hurt them. You know, no one really knows until it's at their door, and that's the unfortunate part about America. Everybody thinks, oh, it can't happen here, it can't happen to me, it can't happen at my house. Not my kid. You know, shit will come knocking if you don't go and confront it between your house and somewhere in this between the state. You know, between your house and the state somewhere, you got to confront the issues that the state are gonna eventually bring to your door, whether you like it or not. You know, that's the experience.
As long as they come one by one and sneak up on us, and if we don't stand up, all of us in large amounts, it just keeps going on and on. It hasn't stopped in all of this time. They're good at it. They got us trained like good sheep. Not only that, the other sheep, if you try to do something unique or different or fight back, the other sheep, make you go back and push you back.
Right.
They got it together.
The social engineering and the control of education and art and media plays a big role in my child custody case, in that I'm deemed like just the father. You know, I didn't carry that child for 9 months. You know, that's her child. That's, you know, it's the mother is treated like she's royalty, and she could be the biggest piece of shit on the planet. She could be the biggest piece of shit on the planet and have absolutely nothing to offer but a counterproductive environment.
All right. Be careful. Let's not be putting too much of your shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the odds are all, I mean, the reality is all against mom in a situation. And dad's got the shit on lock, and the state's like, well, you know, we have to hear all the facts, you know. But if it went the other way, it's like she could sign or apply for an emergency ex parte, and the state would approve it without any due process, without any hearing, without any evidence, without any testimony, without anything. A judge would sign off on her request for an emergency ex parte on my daughter out of my house because I'm just the dad. You know, that's a serious fucking problem. And that's
where's your woman at? How come she ain't smacked you by now? I told you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, all right, lady. Take the mic. She wants to say hello. She's been eager to get on and sound off on her positions here and her aspirations, and just say hello. Go on. Yeah. She's putting on the headset. Hang on, folks.
All right.
You're good.
Hang on, folks. This is my sexy grilled cheese voice. I have an idea for the group, man. And I'm not fucking joking around either. I think we should all infiltrate Scientology.
I
don't know.
I'm totally joking.
In the front.
I'm totally joking.
You know, I thought of so many people who would do it.
Hey, we should sign the billion-year contract under duress.
Is this under duress? I'll sign it under duress. That's all right. I'm signing. Billion years sold.
You know what's funny is that church, it's not a church, that fucking cult has a police force that they call auditors, basically. Anytime you got a headache, a sneeze, a cold, you feel depressed, you go get audited.
Oh, you talking about the machine, that shit.
Yeah, the e-meter thing.
Yeah.
See, that shit's going on right in my backyard, the fucking flagship, and I'm like, God damn, someone needs to shove a camera right up these motherfuckers' ass.
It sucks, man. It sucks. It so sucks.
If I wasn't married, bro, I'd be like, do something. Stalk me in my house. It'll all be live feed, getting paid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm spraying?
Yeah, it's different when you have a family.
Yeah, that's you guys, you women ruin everything for us.
Is that the Mrs. Terrence Slayer?
Yes, it is.
It's Mrs. Slayer.
How are you all?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Have you
I've been very
listening?
disparaged by everything that's going on. I've just been very
Yes,
upset
I was
with
gonna
everything.
ask you.
I did want to ask you, Joe Cool, was the Lindsey Graham, was that the story you were talking about earlier? The Lindsey Graham story?
I just touched on that. I said, and that Lindsey Graham story. I just
Yeah, I
touched
didn't
on
hear
it.
of the other one, but I heard of the Lindsey Graham story, but I didn't look too far into it because I kind of have been distancing myself from everything that's been going on.
Yes. Well, there was a big morning this morning. Yes, Lindsey Graham reached over, called the Secretary of State in Georgia or something, and asked him the procedures to get rid of some legal ballots. All of them was in the black neighborhood in Waynes County, or I think it was in Waynes County. I don't want to be getting too shits kind of confused. Yes, they called the Secretary of State, and they was like, and the Secretary of State said it. What he said, and like, why was you even calling him, bro? You got no business. Even your senator. What the fuck is you calling him? And why is your problem only in that small community? You about to throw out 80,000 black votes, motherfucker. I don't know. I would never say that. Sound like he was telling me to get rid of good legal votes, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm putting both stories together.
Yeah, I read very briefly on that, but I didn't know of anything else.
Yes.
And there were some other things that you guys were talking about earlier. I know somebody had said something about Donald Trump. When he was going to get elected, he ended up joining up with the Republican Party. And I was like totally rooting for Donald Trump until he decided to get in cahoots with the Republican Party, because I think people could have had more faith in him if he had run as an independent.
Yes.
But
yes.
in the same respects, if he didn't get into the machine, he probably would have been pushed out.
Yeah.
And somebody else probably
which is why he did it. Yes.
Right.
But when you're a celebrity and you got the kind of clout and notoriety as Trump, he could have ran as an independent and found a way to fund himself like Perot did as an independent.
Probably could have.
I've had that thought too. Like, well, he could have, because he didn't need anybody else to back him. He had his own way to back himself. So that's where I had lost the faith in that.
They probably convinced him to join them.
Yeah, you could be right.
And at some point, at some point he did. He saw the advantages of it. He thought he could control the ship, and he controlled a lot more, in my opinion. And I bet you they think this is the buck wildest motherfucker we ever got for the job. He just don't listen.
He's still too mild for me.
And listen, I've been saying he's going to go to war with Iran. He's been forging away, getting rid of the nuclear peace agreements and all that bullshit. And he just withdrew some troops over there, man. I'm saying in these last 2 months, he's going to find a reason to go to war with Iran. He just fired his head of Secretary of Defense or some shit and installed some cat who is not qualified for the job. Everybody think he's about to make a major military move. He drew the troops down over there. They already killing people, if you believe that fucking media. That's hard to believe, but they say they already dropping bombs and motherfuckers over there since they heard they pulling the troops out.
Yeah, a lot of our history has kind of been convoluted in the way that it's presented to us, because a lot of the wars that we've been involved in, we were involved in much earlier than that was portrayed by the media. Like, the American citizens were not informed of wars until we were like really deeper into them.
Yes, that's why it's so great now that we have the different forms of media, like with that COVID shit, when they would be like, oh, the hospital was overwhelmed. Somebody I know or somebody in the community would go to the same hospital and they'll be talking to the personnel to be like, no, I ain't seen no COVID cases. Well, there was a lot of cars out here. They was talking to a nurse in this instance. She was like, yes, they came to us and told us whoever got cars, go get in your cars. And they made us come around here and form a line. They used the employees as the fake COVID car line.
Yeah, we watched a video about that. One of Tyrant Slayer's friends in Italy actually went and videoed one of the hospitals, and it was empty. There was
Very
nobody
good.
there.
And what did he see? What happened? What did he find
when he
you
went
say
to the
nobody?
hospital?
Yeah.
Long-time friend of mine.
Well, there was no patients there. It was empty. There was nothing to be seen.
Reporting on American media that
I went to one around here. It was empty, just empty 10 or 2. And that was our main one. Mount Sinai, I think, is supposed to be our main one.
Yeah, Connecticut, I mean, we didn't really, it wasn't, I have family that works in the hospitals, and there was never like an overcrowding where they couldn't put patients where they needed to.
But the media will proclaim that, like right now. I think all that COVID shit was to set Biden up and beat Trump down.
Been very few patients.
Yeah, it's definitely been a manipulation, not only like in regards to political agendas or election, but I think just as a society, an everyday thing, kids are now being secluded from their friends. So they're growing up with a certain psychological already disposition, if you will, from what you or I or other people could have been,
And
engaged
I'm told
in.
at that young age that physical social interaction is crucial, and you can't get it back after a certain time. And they say certainly certain disabled kids or mentally handicapped kids, they need that interaction just to keep up to performing where they are. They need to get interaction every day.
I've seen studies that link Alzheimer's patients who do much better. They don't necessarily recover, but they can function at a higher rate during the day if they interact with children.
Dope.
Yeah, and I think it's just the process that the brain has to go through. It's like a kid's brain. They're relearning things and doing things that aren't necessarily new to them, but things that they've forgotten how to do. They have to retrain their brain.
Check this out. My brother has brain cancer. My dad had a stroke. My brother always was searching for words and, had memory issues and stuff, sometimes really bad. And my old man, when he had the stroke, when we used to go visit him, I used to make sure I give them some time to rap. I'd take the far seat because when they talk, it's like they were sharpening each other. They were both struggling for words and helping each other come up with it together. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's nice. I think that would be kind of the same sort of thing. They were helping each other kind of get the strength back in their brain to function.
Yes, they were perfect, like the kid and the Alzheimer's dude.
Yeah.
They were 2 kids or something.
I think the brain is an amazing thing that people kind of overlook and take for granted.
It is, right? I don't know if you ever there was Ben Carter. He used to take entire hemispheres of the brain out, and the kid would still function, and would relearn that left side alone, or whichever side was left, would learn most of the other stuff, which they said you needed the other side of the brain to learn. This brain side would pick it up.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, Dr. Ben Cross.
What happened to Wolfie over here? Everybody took off. Everybody
He's
left.
still alive, Wolfie. Wolfie probably fell asleep. Yeah, it's 2:00. It's probably about that fucking time anyway.
Yeah. He handed over the mic because he's ready to go fall asleep. It was nice talking to you, Joe.
It was, man. It was. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah. I hope you have a good night. Get some sleep.
When you're ready.
You as well. Later, Tyrant.
Have a good night. Bye. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for this evening. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.